Hi, what's up everybody? Magandang gabi sa inyo lahat. Tonight, we are gonna witness and observe ang Day 2 ng Finals PUBG Mobile Global Championship Day 2, ladies and gentlemen. At ito na nga, pucha, medyo na late ako, men. Medyo na late po na naman tayo. Pero nandito ang ating first game of the night, Day 2 ng ating Southeast Asia Global Championship. Ito ang Team Secret. Oh my goodness. Nagko-cover at gustong patahin itong... Sino itong mga to? Kino-cover niya yung mga kampi niya. Na-down ng mga kampi niya, mga kaibigan. Anyways, binabati ko lahat ng mga naka-tune in. Oh shit! 4Erangel versus Team Secret, mga buddy. Ito, nagkakabakbakan. Tignan natin. Down ang 4Erangel. 4Erangel. Sorry. 4Erangel pala. 4Erangel. Na-reveal ang mga katawan ng 4Erangel. Putsang gala. Ano ba? Ano ba si mga pangalan nila? Ba't ganyan? Anyways, binabati ko lahat ng mga naka-tune in. Kamusta yung lahat, mga buddy? Oh my goodness. Guys, samahan nyo ako ngayong gabi to witness this Global Championship. Pucha, intense na to, mga buddy. Ito, EZ, dumapa para mag-cover. Alright. I mean, sketchy yung galawan niya, pre. Humiga ka na, higa. It's not good. Okay, GD Gids versus STE. So, alam niyo naman, bakit natin pinapanood to, mga pare? Mga buddy, kasi kailangan natin i-observe ang lahat ng mga pro players dito, man. Yes? Kailangan natin i-observe to mga players na to. Pero, oh my goodness gracious.
It could go any which way. I mean, for all I know, it could head even more towards the western side.
So far, so good. Shit, patay na pala yung Team Secret, man. So, 11 teams remaining. Anyways, magandang gabi sa inyo lahat. Pucha, day 2 na po ito. Shoutout, buddy, Gabriel. What's up, buddy? Wait lang, ha. Check ko yung ano nyo, ha. Yan. Alright. Kuya Von, pa-shoutout. Para sa inyo, sino manalo dito? RC, Dave Tadio, binabati kita. DRS, sino mga grupo nyo dito, mga buddy? Ayun na. Uy, nakita niya. Hindi, tropa niya pala yan. Ay, gagi! Chef, free kill! Team STE for a free kill. Na-down niya ang isa sa mga kabilang kampo. Shit, watak-watak na sila. STE, patay. Patay dito, pero tingnan natin. Uy, pucha, na-survive niya pa yung tropa niya. Alright, last 10 team standing dito sa gera natin. Wow! What a shot para kay Paraboy 6! What a shot para pitasin ang isa sa grupo ng STE dito, mga kaibigan ko. So, oh my goodness, this getting intense, mga kaibigan. Alright, nagkakabagbakan tayo dito. STE, dapa po dito as team CS. Ito, pare. Puchang gala. Nagkakabakbakan talaga sila dito. Pakita naman ako. Oh my god. Shit, bro. STE with Kobe. Tingnan natin kung sasabog siya. Oh, munti ka na, pare. Munti ka na. Ooh, nice shot. Nice positioning para sa DRSX Mafia Ninja, I'm sorry. Okay, smoke grenade daw muna tayo dito. Chill lang muna tayo dito. Dave, galing ng DRS. Yung mga, gusto nyo ba ng DRS? Gusto nyo ba yung DRS? Manalo? Ruchel Ortiz, binabati kita, buddy. Kamusta? Rudimel Gapi, wow! Eto, nirurush na po ng Team DRS ang GD Kids, mga kaibigan. Titingnan natin kung sino ang unang dadama dito sa duelo na to. Eto, nilusob na 1 versus 2 situation, mga kaibigan. Also, ayan, patay ang Team GD Kids. Sabi ng DRS, good night, mga buddy. See you next game na lang.
We're kind of playing on the outside
Wow.
edge. You're able to get so much
Okay,
done.
Kobe.
And
Another
this is
Kobe.
the beauty of
So,
playing players that you
Team SZSTE standing their ground, mga pare.
spot, right? With Damwon Gaming taking this really strong outpost very early in the game, it did mean they were...
Pa-shoutout ko po, Jello Rodriguez. Team SZ tayo. Team SZ, sige. Team SZ tayo. Feeling ko sila ang mananalo dito kasi kita nyo naman, nakaka 8 kills na sila dito sa laban na to, man. And eto, it's time to recover. Recover muna tayo ngayon. Kasi,
So now DRS are in a good position. El Chapo
patay si El Chapo. Good night, El Chapo. Okay, so di pa sila nagkikita-kita, pare. Kaya recover muna, get your healing, reload ng mga magazines, dahil sasabak na kayo sa gera. Oh my goodness. STE down ang isa sa mga BTR, at eto, random shots kay RAT. Titingnan natin kung mapapatay niya ang Team STE. Eto, baril lang siya ng baril dito, mga kaibigan. Tinitingnan niyo kung may mapapatay siya dito. Okay, last 5 teams remaining, mga buddy, para sa ating first game ng ating day 2 ng PUBG Mobile Global Championship. Shit. Oh no, no, no. Oh no, oh no. That's not a good idea. That is not a good idea. Shish. Okay, STE. Oh no. Patay na ang SZSTE, mga buddy. Isa na lang. So DRS na lang yung, tsaka RC na lang yung tatlo dito, mga pare. Okay, random shots tayo dito, parang nanggagaling sa Team STE. Dapa lang, para ako kasi kung gagawin ko dito, kung ako yung coach dito, papadapayin ko lang sila eh. Diba? Kaya po, ano masasabi mo sa pinagagawa ni Jormel? Masakit lang sa ulo. Bala sila doon. Alright. Down ng isa sa mga RAT. It's a 1-1 and 3-3 situation tayo dito, pare. No, ay hindi pala, na-revive nila yung isang tropa ng STE.
These are teams that really do need these points. They're towards the lower side of these tables. They're grabbing up these placement points now.
Oh no, dapa, pare, GG. Okay guys, tanggal na po sa labanan ang isang STE. SZSTE na lang nandito, mga kaibigang oso. STE Pika versus last 3. Oh, what a grenade! Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, let's see kung mapapatay niya. Good shot para sa Team RC, mga kaibigan. At ito, RC duelo, naghahanap ng kaduelo. Talagang naghahanap lang. Nag-i-scout. Naghahanap-hanap kung nasan nakatago at nakahiga ang mga kalaban nila, pare. Ito, alam ni DRS na meron dyan, behind that smoke, meron dyang naghihingalo na tropa. Okay. Since may bato, they're gonna survive. They're gonna survive. RC Divine taking his time. Ooh, what a shot para kay RC Divine. Oh my god, it's time to move. Move in. Ayan na yung circle, mga buddy. Mapipilitan na silang lumaban. RC DRS against sa Team STE. Royal Rumble to, mga buddy. Eto, kukunin niya daw muna ang nakakuha siya ng loot doon, pare. Jackpot, sabi ng ating RC Divine. Naka-jackpot siya doon. Dito ang matatalo dito, kung sino yung masasandwich, yun yung talo. Para sa akin, yun ang talo. At ang laki ng chance ng dalawang matitira. Ayan na! Granada! Ay, hindi. Smoke grenade lang. Pare. Oh my goodness, ayan na, pare.
Pika can stay here behind the rock side with that
Oh
high cover
no.
on his teammates.
Ah! Bakit ka tumalon?
Take down with Pika.
DRS, bakit ka tumatalon? Take your time, my friend! Okay, eto. Nilulusob na po ng isa sa mga team DRS itong nakadapa niya. Ayan na, ayan na, ayun na. Wow! What a clutch game!
They take care of score
What a clutch shot para sa isa sa mga DRS. At ito, this is a 1 versus 1 situation, mga buddy. 3 against 2 players. Let's see.
He moved out
Let's see.
into the open, and I think he'd accidentally got out of the vehicle.
Okay, ito si Saral. Ginagranada niya.
At PMGC Global Championship level, and Gyalzen is
Titignan natin kung maka-clutch ba.
punished really.
Buddy, salamat sa binigay mo po. You're welcome, buddy. John Clint. Binabati kita, buddy. Guys, eto. Pucha, napaka-sketchy na nito, men. Eto na! Pucha!
yeah I mean
Seryoso ba to? Irarush na ata, men.
hiding there
Alam mo ako, para sa akin, irarush ko yan. Nakakotse ako eh.
Skirt, skirt.
Sarah spotted by Dima. Oh, he hits the deck. That was fast.
Okay, dead. Oh my god, GG. GG para sa Team DRS. This is a 3 versus 1 situation, mga pare. And I
Moves out. There's two in this vehicle. This is
don't think he's gonna win this game. Ayan na! Pucha, nadapa niya!
most likely go
Wow! Nakadapa pa siya ng isa! Let's see!
down to all of them.
Patay na siya, pare.
Oh my goodness me, it looked
GG.
a bit ropey there, but right.
Winner, chicken dinner. First game natin sa day 2 ng PUBG Global Championship ay mapupunta para sa ating team. Anong team to? Team RC?
That was a long shot
Right?
call, to be honest. For me, I mean, it was a case of if this goes west, which I highly doubt that I think it is. Regen
Tama ba? Team RC? Tingnan natin.
most likely go down.
Yes, Team RC ang unang ating winner chicken dinner, mga buddy. What a performance para sa Team RC, mga buddy. Okay din sila. Seryoso, isa sila sa mga pinakamalalakas sa team. Seryoso yun.
Moments versus those two teams with only two.
What's up, Kevon? Jerick? Kamusta, buddy? Ito yung mga highlights ng game, oh.
Almost Gyalzen
Boom.
in that situation. Drops down to the floor.
Boom.
They see the bullets coming through and quickly identify the position. Really, really well done.
I mean, it was a pretty cracking spray from Yao to do as much as he did.
Grabe yun.
Against
Nice shots. Ooh! Pucha, headshot, pare.
like, I feel like Yao really outdid himself in those final circles
Grabe yung wawa, oh.
against the wall across the line.
I mean, when DRS were doing well, John, I think Gyalzen
Boom! Ubos, buddy!
so I think that it only makes sense he's stepping up again here. I think DRS has a lot more in them. I think it's just been a case that he has fallen off massively for this team.
Good shots.
There's a little bit of momentum loss as well. You know, Super Weekend
Good shots para sa Team RC. Congratulations.
So maybe this next day is the time to make it happen. So many cool rotations.
Pa-shoutout kayo, Bon. Zig PH, binabati kita, buddy. Kamusta?
It's that race for the
Love you kayo, Bon. John Clint, love you too, buddy. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas.
Reject. They grabbed the ladder and runged up a couple of steps.
You know.
Chicken dinner.
Chicken dinner. At syempre, appreciate the love. Venom, pa-shoutout po Kuya Bon. Special shoutout sa'yo, Venom.
Back to the desk.
Kamusta, buddy?
Were you guys dancing over there? Did I just see that? Hey, you gotta join in. Come on.
Next match natin within 10 minutes. Tekken muna tayo.
Oh, God.
Tara, Tekken! Tekken!
Max loves. But you see here, Reject though, what a win.
Tekken!
Wasn't sitting too well. They were just
Tara, Tekken!
up, and as you mentioned before, Max, the rush rate isn't that big.
Tekken, tara!
Between 9th and 10th place.
Dito ko.
They desperately needed, but
Ah,
also
2K. Tara, 2K.
DRS. I mean,
Ako na, dito ko.
the 23 points, and we didn't get to see them in the last Super Weekend. We didn't get to see them have that redemption
Hey,
story
bata.
going into the finals. We saw Secret this week.
Ay,
Yeah, I mean, the teams that were starting to get
Taba,
somewhat in
taba.
dangerous position were DRS.
ay, taba.
DRS able to get himself a good result here is big, and they actually had a really stronghold position.
Huli yung baho mo na.
They had the 2-2, they had two players on a high ground position on Stolberg.
Ang sama na ng amoy mo, Molly, ah.
Just south southwest of
Oli,
the mountain. So it
paano
was a
mo lang amoy mo?
good, somewhat temporary entry point for them to try and gather information before trying to leapfrog in front of a bunch of the teams, pick up a few eliminations down there. So I'm happy
Huh?
with that play
Tara,
play
tara.
from DRS, but
Tara
of
mo
course,
ko.
not known as a very consistent
Tara
team,
mo
so
ko.
I'd like to see a little bit more from which that came.
Ayan.
Yeah, and again, like consistency.
So
will
far,
be
ang
important
team,
in
ang
these
mga
later weeks, but it just comes
rankings
down to
natin,
these plays, right? If you can
Infinity,
pick up
Secret,
as many points as possible.
rank
Secret
10,
here,
11,
4 points,
12.
Infinity with 4 points, Nova 3. So technically, I did win the prediction game. Just saying.
For the game.
Miguelson gonna take home the.
Yan. Game 2 tayo mga buddy. Bandot.
Let me have this win.
Game 2 para
Amazing.
8 minutes mga buddy para sa game 2.
Very, very well done by
Pa-shoutout po, Zero Iskandalyo. What's up buddy?
really. Across these, not just this game, but the last couple of games has been
Dave
6,
Tangkay.
8. Look where they jump with this. With them getting themselves 18 or 19 points from this game. This is the 6-8 that me and Max at the start of this final were like, where is that 6-8 that qualifies the way they did in this tournament? I think they're starting to show some of it now.
This is a controlling 6-8 that we wanted to see going into this PMGC, right? And they got rid of Infinity in the northern edge so easily. There was barely any effort put into it because they had such a strong position, such a good split. Infinity could not
Wala yan. Pasok?
It's super easy for them to try and
Pucha.
get rid of Infinity, take full control of the northern side, and just enter phase after phase after phase. So, yeah, I think this is the 6-8 that we expected at the start of the tournament, and now they're willing to go for those high-placing games.
Yeah, let me jump in really quick. I didn't get in there quickly.
Pa-shoutout po, Rod Gaming PH. Binabati kita buddy.
Just to really spout again, consistency of just performing well, placing well, getting eliminations, and then you have Dave
Wala.
Xavier, who's been very hit or miss, right? They've been a little bit hit or miss over the course of the
shooting
time, right?
yun eh.
They didn't qualify, or they had to like come out.
Pa-shoutout po kay Kuya Lamin. Nako, umalis na si Kuya Lamin dito. Wala na si Kuya Lamin.
Like a couple more placement points over that.
Yeah.
So they've only really been able to get like a couple points over the matches that they haven't won, which is really unfortunate for them. But what is fortunate for you guys, I hope the treasure box is still happening. You guys can watch within the esports center over on YouTube.
Hoy, 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 hoy.
To unlock permanent items,
Ay,
eventually
ay,
special
paano ko
cards,
pa
as well,
to?
Google Play card, and Amazon Pay gift card as well.
Yun.
But
Pa-shoutout po, Ryan Pedraha. What's up buddy?
500,000 peak concurrent viewers for East. Wait, you just neither of you sound excited today. It's like 5 a.m.
No.
for me, and no energy of you guys. 900 tokens coming in. You only need 1,200 to unlock
Yan.
the treasure
Waiting
box.
tayo sa ating ano
PMGC token as well.
Waiting tayo sa ating next game mga buddy.
To get some extra tokens going your way. Hopefully we get some coffee
Thanks.
for you to wake up. This is not PMGC ASMR League. This is PMGC East League.
I mean, you tried to shout, but you were still a tiny mouse.
I know. I was holding back.
What's up?
I was holding back. There's puppies in the other room and they're trying to sleep and I'm trying not to wake them up. But Miramar is coming up next year. This is Reject home map, and Reject obviously taking the first match of the day, starting things off very strong for them. But again, they have to continue this pace. There's not going to be enough to big break through top 9 and hold on to that position. And we'll see if they can do so after the show.
Wala. Ano yun?
Really is
No?
Oh, do this to them! You've killed them! Look at them!
FaZe still in contention though. FaZe up a real possibility.
Really?
I think it really is. Oh no!
Oh no!
It's FaZe down!
Ano yun?
On your face! Why would you do this to them?
I'm so sorry.
You've killed them! Look at them! They're dead! Huh? Oh!
Pasok na.
Excuse me.
Okay, mga funny, ano muna tayo, break time muna tayo mga buddy. Shoutout naman dyan, Renz Gaming YT Aliana. Kamusta kayo? Hi guys, wait lang ha, share lang ako.
I saw the first light, the first steps. Now I see much more. I capture Earth in all its beauty. I see action. I see drama. And I see it in the finest detail. Moments of inspiration and the first steps. I am the 1+9.
All right, well, I told you it was a short break, and we're back here, about to kick off in Miramar for a second match of the day, with 6 matches in total to play across the day. You were complaining about my monologue, so I'll leave it open to you two to discuss whatever you want to talk about, and I'll just sit here looking pretty, jamming out to music.
Yeah, what do you want to talk about, Max?
I'm cool. I'm vibing. I'm chilling. Yeah.
You're vibing. What the? All right, we're going on to Miramar. Shut up, both of you. We got DXA getting the previous win. Yeah. No. Again, you know, you brought them up before, and I do think that they got quite fortunate in some of the scenarios in some of their wins. So that's why we're probably seeing them kind of still at that kind of 9th place tier. I don't think they're a top 9 team right now, unless something crazy goes on. All right,
I thought you were doing the thumb thing, you know? I can't do it right now.
Oh, like uncles do, like showing the that thing.
Oh my god. Oh my.
You know what? Today's been weird. I'm gonna shut up.
Okay. Sorry, Miramar, DXavier you're talking about, very fortunate in the games they've won. Again, the placements and eliminations have been a little bit low. And I can only wonder, like, that's the difference between a couple of teams, right? You have the consistent teams who just put up good points. Infinity, I think the prime example of that. And then you have teams who are very hit or miss, very night and day, very black and white, where they'll, you know, put up 2 chicken dinners in a day, but then score no points outside of those matches.
Yeah, you said DXavier has been somewhat hit or miss. I'm going to say they are only hit or miss so far in these finals, which is very unfortunate for DXavier. We'd like to see a little bit more consistency, of course, on this team. But one team that was actually hyper consistent.
All right.
The entirety of their Super
Thanks na shoutout din after 2 years, sabi ni Renz Gaming Whitey.
They've just not been able to perform as sure, no chicken dinners as we expect from 4
Renz Gaming Whitey ako din. Yan. Okay, ito na. Ito ang ating Game 2, Match 8. Sa Miramar naman tayo, mga buddy. Alright, tune in guys. Break time lang yung mga players natin. At of course, bakbakan na daw.
Especially on the Sanhok game yesterday, I think they definitely got to change how they drop because they take these early clashes versus Infinity. They're not making it easy on themselves, so I would like to see a little bit of more adaptability from 4 Rivals coming into these games.
Yeah, and it's kind of unfortunate, Carlos, because they were in 11th place at the start of the day with 29 points, and they were like the only team in top 5. Actually, I think it was even farther than that. I think it was like top 8 maybe that did not have a single chicken dinner in a super weekend. And that team has kind of fallen off, but I think it's also maybe a testament to like the stress and the pressure that you're under here in the super week or in the finals, right? You talk about 6-2-8 and think about how they qualified in PL season 4. They got 40 points in the final season to just barely make it into this event. So these like quick marathon events is something they can definitely flourish in. Maybe these 3-day events is where 4 Rivals starts to struggle.
I mean, maybe 4 Rivals kind of that inability to round out a game has kind of got to them a little bit. These last 6-7 rounds that we've seen from 4 Rivals has not looked. It's definitely not looked up to the consistency that we saw from them in the entirety of the league play. And I think it will be a crying shame if they don't get themselves a chicken dinner throughout this tournament after looking so good prior. But I mean, there's not many games to do it in, Jason.
And to be fair, like obviously we're not trying to call just them out in particular, but like Stalwart to me, I mean, yeah, they had a 2nd or a 3rd place finish there. Yeah, they had a chicken dinner yesterday in match 5, but this isn't the Stalwart we saw in that first week, Max. This isn't the Stalwart that just like surprised us that you backed the entire time.
We haven't seen those big elimination games even when they did not get those chicken dinners, right? The only big elimination game they had so far was 30 eliminations on that win of yesterday. Other than that, it's been a little bit all over the place. So I agree, we need to see that aggressive Stalwart back in play to get those elimination points that definitely set them apart from the rest of the in the Super Week.
Yeah, and again, that could just be due to like teams figuring out how they're playing. It could be, you know, due to maybe just some adaptations, maybe some bad luck. But the fact is, you don't have many more matches left to fix your problem.
Yvonne, pa-shoutout po, Adrian! Adrian, buddy, Merry Christmas! Happy New Year!
Mine is still going to be Infinity.
Merry Christmas po, Kuya Von! Don Paquito, Alexandro Garcia! You know, GTA daw. Sige, mag-GTA tayo next game, ha?
I'm going to go with 4 Rivals. Is that going to make it worse for them? Probably, but you know what? I'm still going to go for it.
Hey, top tier analysis. I'm a host. I'm not an analyst, okay? I just look pretty, and I struggle enough to do that. Claris?
Genesis Dogma, if it's time to rise up like they did before, if they don't, I don't know when they're going to do it.
I mean, Daybot's been quite great. He's the standout player, I think. Him and Sitar, obviously, but as a duo. Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate. So we're going to head into our next match right now. Let's go back over to John on the to kick it off.
Thank you very much. We're in to Miramar over onto the desert as we closer. Locking of the tables, but there's still plenty left to play. Plenty of opportunities to snag up those points and ladder up.
You know what I've noticed? Because Maxman just like took one of his headset ears off, right? And Maxman's head's not that big. But when he's got the headset on, I'm like, wow, he got and then I'm like, whoa, his head's
It was just the headphones all the time.
it was the headphones all along. But we know that actually he is got that one for a reason. That big brain. And if 4 rivals is what he's going for, I gotta believe it when I've got a back on 4 rivals.
That was quite the way us to back 4 rifles playing, but you know what? I'm here for it. Yeah, I'm in the desert.
Alright.
Past all of those houses.
Hi boys, this is our second game.
That's what we like to see.
Eto na, bumababa na mga tropa natin dyan, mga buddy. Kevin, pa-shoutout po. Isaac. Yan, binabati kita. Ike Gaming, what's up? Alright. Eto mga buddy, witness kung sino ang magiging chicken dinner this game. Ang mapa natin ay Miramar.
Very nicely centered up here at the moment. But what did that do in this game? What will it do to Enigma Galaxy?
But it will do wonders, but really difficult nonetheless. What happened, Rico Infinity when Severny when the ship went their way. Team Secret as well, on them right. They didn't have the best time of it, so.
It was kind of like it was a flippity floppity circle. People were thinking safe, and then it was eventually, and then Rico Infinity were like, and so it was like, yeah, about that. No. Reject in the end were the only ones. I mean, they were furthest on the west side, and so you had to give them a little bit of assistance, but that's okay. They'll take it.
They will.
That is French for assistance, by the way, if you didn't.
Really?
Yeah.
I was wondering what you said. I was actually very confused. I was like, what has he just said? He's so exotic and cultured.
Thank you. I know. That's all right. I'm on the language learning apps every night. I just learn one different one every day.
Can we get confirmation from Maxman? Is that possible? Not that I don't trust you, but I don't trust you.
Yeah, Maxman knows. Maxman will confirm that for you. Don't worry. That is the correct way of saying assistance in French. Down Morning Gaming. Ooh, Junie dropping down. Reject very far out of the way. Very close to Genesis Dogma. Like the guy said on the desk, Daybot has been a quiet boy. I'll say that right now. And I mean, Satar equally. So I don't really know what's going on with Genesis Dogma because they came off what was a absolutely fantastic performance in the league play, which looked so strong, and it looked like it was heading them towards the top of the tables. And then things slowed down, and probably the worst time for it to happen as well as you're coming into the league finals themselves. And just looking at the results so far, currently sat down on 12th place. Goodness me, what a change of pace for Genesis Dogma overall. Unfortunate stuff. And I think that was the question we had in our mind, because were they going to be able to manipulate the lobby like they were able to do in the league play here in league finals? So far, it's not working out. And as we head into our second day, we're almost hitting that halfway mark. That's right.
Okay. Siyempre, this is the most important moment of the league, mga buddy. Ang kumuha muna sila ng mga armas, mga medikasyon. Alam nyo na yan, mga buddy. Kevin, pa-shoutout po. Merry Christmas. Kevin, bigyan po kita exclusive pair. Uy, gusto ko yan, buddy. Merry Christmas sa inyong lahat. Kevin, pa-shoutout po. Love you. Merry Christmas. Sa Asher Cruz, binabati kita. Guys, kumakain lang ako saglit, ha. Sabihan nyo kung ano nangyayari.
They still continue to play edge, as have the Infinity. Like that's always the result of the same shit.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you agreeing with me. In terms of positioning, It's all very odd at the moment. And I think for Genesis Dogma, there's still for Genesis Dogma is DX8, who play just the normal on most maps. So I think that for them, it just reinforces falling prey gaming. Currently, I would say it's the smartest move from them. It's just fast moving towards that center of the circle. Again, I think that just like the Infinity's move up to North Georgia Pole, that is not going to last you into the third day. I think teams are really taking the time to review. With 7 teams being lost after the end of this league finals as we head into the grand finals next year. Oh my God, next year.
Wow.
Yeah, people are really gunning for it right now, and I think that a lot of this not only is about the prize pool, but very much about getting into those grand finals, because that is a huge medal to add to the wall of medals that you might have, like me.
Do you have all the medals?
I do, yeah.
Year 6, judo.
No.
What are we talking about? Academic excellence at the age of 4.
I just have one on the wall that's like 6th form funniest guy.
Funniest guy.
Yeah.
That's quite the accolade to be funniest guy in a 6th form. That's pretty cool.
That was me. That was me. It didn't really get me too far. I went to a party after that, and several strangers had a go at me, saying, "Did I think I was funny?" And I said, "Yes," which I also thought was quite funny at the time. But we are heading back.
Wait, you're serious, aren't you? You are seriously saying that you have a medal on your wall saying that you got funniest guy in 6th form.
It's ironic. Come on, please.
I know there's a fight that's happening between 2 teams that have been doing really well, but I want to dive more into this, because what? You actually did that actually happen. I thought you were memeing.
Yeah, no, that happened. There was a scuffle that occurred, which I quickly vacated from. Because apparently being funny in the real world does lead to also real world consequences. Which is why I'm now, which is now I work on broadcast, because here everyone is the funniest guy, including the guys on desk. So I feel at place here, but I will never receive a medal.
You're right. If that's how you act with one,
yeah, it's true. It's true. It's not good. It's like I had the one ring essentially abused its power. 6-2-8 off the distance. Actually doing very well recently. I'm very impressed with 6-2-8's performance so far. Currently sat in 3rd place now with 73 points. Now, I do think that with their current playstyle from yesterday as well, and I don't know if you agree with me, John, like looking up how they have changed their gameplay, which is to be a lot more tightly knit. And I keep using that same phrase because I think it does work to them, because they are a jumper that unravels around about game 6, and I'm stealing a metaphor from yesterday. I am. And I think that is something that they need to keep in place. So maybe they need to get knitting away towards the end of the game. But at the beginning of the game, it does look like a nice jumper. And that's what I'm like to see so far. And it looks like a better jumper from yesterday. It's a weird analogy, but I'm running with it.
Hopefully. I mean, speaking of unraveling a little bit, the main story, I think, over this tournament of unraveling has been, for me, Tongjiabao. They looked dominant in that first week's gameplay, right? I mean, not necessarily from their play itself, but certainly from the points totals. And then that shifted away from them. And their style, their signature style was go middle, go early, and then hold. And that seems to be what Damwon were leveraging yesterday.
Absolutely. Though, we can kind of tie this back up in a nice little bow now, because I'm really glad you brought that up. It's Tongjiabao, move fast, and then don't move at all. For Damwon Gaming, on the other hand, what they tend to be going for, nailed it, is the fact that when they move, they have a clear idea of the compounds around them and where they want to move next. And I think that your chocolate frog analogy, they've got one good jump in them. For Damwon Gaming, I'd say they have 2 or 3, depending on the circle. Yes, they don't go much further than that 3rd jump, but usually that 3rd jump is all you need in most games. I think last game was definitely an outlier in terms of circle variance. So I think that Damwon Gaming could potentially keep this up. But again, Tongjiabao started off great. Will Damwon Gaming start off great and then slowly fall off 3rd day? Who knows?
Who knows, indeed, who knows? I think you're right. I mean, the circle in that last game, it kind of went up to Yasnaya and around the side, and then it slung all the way back towards Saverni. It was a big crescent moon of a move, right?
Yeah.
That was very, very difficult to handle. Hopefully a little bit easier here. And a team that's central now, and a team that said on the desk that they were impressed by 628, very much in the center here out to the west of San Martin. And Viben doing pretty well right now.
I think from looking at past games for 628, they are incredibly strong on Miramar, but on an individual basis. I think that when we look at this team, it's not a case of leaving one player behind who then gets 2 or 3 knocks, and it's phenomenal, but then that player, in all terms the word, a phrase, is left behind. They don't necessarily usually get back to the group after that. So I think for 628, it has just been very much change of pace for them, and much less in terms of speed, but slowing things down a lot more. I think I like that. I think as a team that does have such mechanical skill, and we know they have such mechanical skills from the plays each player has made on the clips, like, I think as a team, as a unit, that's the one thing they do need to work on the most is team play. And I think that coming from, and I will just say this outright, coming from PEL, where it's a first-person format, you can quite easily play off the back of one another, but more in a solo sense. I do think when you come to a third-person format, having those flanks is so much more important because, yes, in third person, you have a great field of vision, but you don't necessarily have eyes in the back of your head, which is why you need these flanks to come through. It's when most successful pushes occur when you have a 2-2 split or a one guy going for a flank. That is extremely important to consider.
Infinity trying to move through the divots, the lands in front of them. All 4 of them still going. They haven't had the best of times compared to their league performance so far, but that's not to say they haven't been scoring points. Sure, they feel like they're underperforming according to our expectations, but they're in 5th place right now. Blank, there's 63 points. They're doing pretty well, quite frankly. They're less than 20 points behind the lead, and even though they haven't really had a massive set of standout performances that we're normally expecting from them, they're more than likely looking good to qualify.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that it is that idea of a team, how long can they continue onwards? And I think if there's ever a blip in performance that you want to happen, it's right before the grand finals. And I think if that blip is not too massive in terms of the Infinity being in 5th place, that's fine. Look in the circle of Damwon Gaming, slam in the center there, like, very, very nice. We'll take that one. They have a fairly good amount of elevated ground. 628 are quickly moving down themselves, and there's a fair few teams getting into position. Nova also there, so we have a lot of our top scoring teams already in this one. Team Secret though versus MS Chumburi. Ponzai looking to take down ice shots. We'll find it.
Gets the shots around the side. Fredo down as well on the back line for Team Secret, and Jumper now caught unraveling as the rest of Team Secret struggling around these hillsides to get back together. A little knockover onto Jasper might slow MS Chonburi, but this nade looks like it might just be good a little bit further up the hill, but another one soon to follow, and they have to reposition. And there's the flush. Time just not on their side. Ponzai wants to pop another over the ridge. They don't know where Jumper is, though.
No, I think that is so unfortunate as well, because both nades go wide, and Jumper has to leave because he's unsure where they're going to drop. Now Team Secret just down to the one player, and this game will hurt their point scoring performance.
I mean, they are actually in 4th place, just ahead of the Infinity, and going down with no points there means that they are going to stay on 65. They are okay. It's okay that they have 1 or 2 bad games, but they can't afford for today to get away from them.
So crazy to look at the current stats and see Reject tying at the top of the leaderboard in terms of average points per map on Miramar. Reject's at 8.8 with Infinity. So very, very cool stuff. And there's a massive drop-off onto 3rd and 4th place with Nova at 8.2, and then 4th place being 4 Rivals with 7.4. So very, very strange coming through here. I think Reject, coming off the back of a winner Erangel, having a good game here on Miramar will sit you in a fairly safe position, at least coming through for the next games of the day. I think you could have at least 1 bad game after that. But Reject still trucking on. I think coming from that south side, not a bad idea. You're not all in harm's way at the moment, like the Xavier currently are.
Xavier really in harm's way, as you say. Enigma Galaxy, though, they lose sight just a little bit across the way and aren't going to be able to do too much more. Xavier slip under the purview of the Eagle's Nest.
Kind of a tricky spot to play from for Enigma Galaxy now, though, with this northwest side. You know, they've got the elevation, but realistically, at this point, like, the field of view they have, you know, their render distance just isn't long enough for them to find these picks across the map anymore. They are so far away. So now it's time to leave, find a better spot. And with this circle, this is a great time to leave for them. They can head directly south, but Reject's already on the prowl up towards that western position, and most likely will come into contact with Freak early.
Looking at what's going on with Xavier in 628 right now. 628, they take a knock over the way as a parallel rotation comes in on the northeastern edge. Both Damwon and Rico Infinity Team will be aware of this now, as up comes the push from Rabiz there, and 33Z trying to fend off as the Wolves circle. Rabiz not quite getting the knock there, but gets a little tickle of damage. Takes a little bit as well, and in comes Baoshi for the backup. Moving over that ridge line, excellent damage over onto Rabiz, but the push comes through from Frankie. But Lamborghini down on the backside, time not on their side, and Damwon put a stop to it.
Will be out of the game. Very unfortunate stuff for 628. They're getting crunched with Damwon Gaming, taking up at least one of the kills there. I mean, they're in a good spot to find themselves a fair few more eliminations, though, on this eastern side with the compound they're currently holding. They don't necessarily have to move yet, especially with being very barren towards the center of this circle. Reject currently was out with like almost a 2-2, I would say. Reject currently getting back into vehicles, maybe pushing back down towards that south side. A little bit more awkward to play his position, so you're almost hoping for a southern shift here.
Shots coming through from Reject. They have a really nice line of fire on that southwestern side. And as the roads become less of a feature in this next circle, it is going to be terrain and cover play.
Beautiful shots coming out from Duello. A little bit too late, though, in my opinion. I mean, he could have just taken shots onto the vehicle much earlier there. Won't find the eliminations over towards Bigatron, unfortunately. Though they are pressed up against the edge. And I think Reject can control his position fairly handily at this point in time.
Oh, no.
QC1 versus Genesis Dogma, though, with the Infinity on the backside. Goodness me.
I was looking at Genesis Dogma's position, and it was right in the middle of all four Nova players, but in come the Infinity to potentially break them out. Yeah, there's no way you're getting out of there if you're Nikhil, but does manage to draw Nova in just a little bit. The Infinity, in the meantime, is sneaking in on the back. Stalwart are there as well, to potentially make this a lot harder than it needs to be for the Infinity.
DRS with some much-needed confidence off the back of that last game. Stalwart also dropping into this. The Infinity taking lots of shots, so this eastern side is all popping off here.
Trying yet to move forwards, and they are backing up to try and get this res off onto Nuzi, but no, a nade seals the deal. Mella and Logan both very, very low. So we hop on board with the four rivals over in the northeastern edge. DRS suffering, trying to push past them, and it is not going well. Nade over the top, looking good for Mafia Ninja, but gets out of there just in time. Unfortunately, the bullets find their mark, and four rivals stay alive with four on the top east side.
41 alive, will pick up that buggy. Four players still up for four rivals as well. One is down, most likely will be able to get him up in time and move into the circle. They were moving on to the Xavier's position. Stalwart, Pika's in an awkward spot again. Top's trying to move around, but Logan goes down.
Ooh, and Damwon are chiming into this fight as well. It's about 4 teams engaged in this conflict right now, but Logan, Mella, both fall. Top, the arbiter on this eastern edge, and God Tunny now last standing as Top falls as well. Not going to be able to take down the full shebang. Hang on a minute, Top didn't go down. He's healing out in the blue. Cryptics fighting against BTR now in the long warehouses. Nova will get eliminated first. Nova trying to move in ahead and stay alive on the east, but Bigatron suffering in the warehouse. Cryptics, they really want to grab all these points whilst they can. So do Bigatron. It is a mad scrabble towards the bottom of the tables, and now one player stands for Bigatron. It's Luxy over the way across the building. Senke has the bead.
I mean, there's a potential to get all players back up again, but slowly but surely these players will be flushed out. It's a nice nade. Luxy doesn't fall for it, though. He's got an amount of experience on his hands. That's not likely going to happen. But now he's got 2 players to go up against, an off angle also to deal with, and Luxy's days are numbered.
See that isolating the nade out of the door for El Chapo to be able to push out if he wants to. Senke still suppressing, and El Chapo with a nice flank manages to put them in the dirt. Bigatron going down. 4 rivals will not be getting the chicken dinner. Blank, you're going to have to go back around the houses again and look for someone else because it's not going to be them.
Unfortunately, you know, I try to believe. Maxman, you failed me, unfortunately. Reject, on the other hand, I do have faith in. Good stuff from them. Immediate rotate onto that western side. I think the position they were holding was very open, but that is one thing you don't get a lot of chance to use on Miramar, which is open ground without all this rocky terrain, which you can rotate over very speedily, which means that Reject, regardless of whether this is going to be an eastern shift or a western shift, would have been able to get into position very fast, and indeed they have. Now on this south side, Enigma Galaxy really the only team that's going to pose a problem to them, but Nova currently trying to take down a few of them, with Freak being so out of position, trying to play the anchor hold for the guys from Enigma Galaxy. I don't know how much further Enigma Galaxy can get on this eastern side to Freak.
Damwon are going to try and push in as well behind Nova. Nova show the value of being ahead in terms of the circle with that fight on the eastern side. Both Stalwart and Infinity tried to push onto their position, and they just got shut down from every single angle. Nova crept forwards, and with all 4 alive, they're having a good time of it. Genesis and Dogma trying to move past Cryptics as well across the way, as everybody in the east is getting shut down. And again, Nova are ahead of them.
I think this is good for Enigma Galaxy though, isolating those angles on that northeast side towards DXA while focusing on something else. Nova finds at least 1 knockover onto Damwon Gaming, and they're getting ripped apart right now. The Forest getting crushed underfoot.
Sung getting that heal off. The reses can't come through. Senke now consumed by the blue zone and will be ticking down. His teammate falls as Junie takes a tickle as well, and you're out in the zone. There's no reses for Damwon. They'll have to run on forwards, but with Nova just across the ridge, it's a tall order even for the top dogs.
Gorgeous nade comes through from Order there. Will take down the majority of Damwon Gaming. Tosses another up toward Enigma Galaxy position, but Reject, they have been chilling. 2 eliminations, but not a big deal if you're looking for that chicken dinner. Sung, most likely going to try and heal this one.
Hi, what's up? Hey, Hi, what's up mga buddy? Sorry, kumain ako. Wag mo na kayo. Magpa-shoutout kasi kumakain pa yan. Kakatapos ko lang. Oh shit, ito na. 5 teams. Sa class na to, buddy. Team NV, BX, Erangel, PWG, RC. Kevin, what's up? Mark Lester Balde. Pinabati kita, buddy. Sino ang grupo nyo dito? Pucha, RC na naman? Natitira? Oh my god, Team RC is doing it big. RC Duelo, NV. Oh shit, down. Ang DWG. Oh my goodness gracious. Ang sarap mawinti. Kaya mo pa shoutout, Epi Mark Tagaw. Binabati kita, Epi. Uy, gagi, granada. Oh my god. Kung may granada na naman to, pucha. GG yan. Okay, irarush na po. NG Freak. RC, oy gagi, down, mga kaibigan. What a shot, man. Oh my god. Team RC is eliminated. Oh my goodness. This is a 1 versus 4, mga buddy. Shit. Oh my goodness. 1 versus 4, mga buddy. Wala. GG na to, man. Wag mo nang patagalin pa. Kung ako sa'yo, ilalabas mo na lang yung baril mo, tapos surrender ka na lang. Ibababa mo na lang yung baril mo. Yun na yun. GG. Wala. Team NGX for the winner chicken dinner. Congratulations for the game 2 natin. Ang bilis lang. Diba? Shoutout po kayo Von Calvin, Gabriel, Ilag, binabati kita. Dionisio, what's up? Sayang kala ko clutch. Wala, mahirap yun i-clutch, buddy. Hindi kaya yun. Alina Cantuba, binabati kita. Kamusta? Uy,
him
baba
that
nga
far, but he
muna.
found a position to
Ano
hold
ba
him.
nandito?
And again, it's that anchor that
Natutuwa
you
yung fan, ha?
desperately need to get into the circle when you're that far out of position and give you that information that you desperately need at the end of that game. So really, really well done to Enigma Galaxy, in fact. But I do think it could have been stopped. I do think it could have been stopped by Reject, but this split from them, 2-2 either side, I'm not sure if it was the right play. Playing together and maybe trying to pick up a couple of eliminations here and there and then just scope the place could have worked out easily. I think that you also have to take into account for Reject that you
GG.
do not expect a wild
Good job. Pa-shoutout po, Spider-Man. Binabati kita, buddy.
double kill.
Ebenezer Suryaw. What's up?
Unfortunate stuff for Reject, but just massive
Okay.
outplays from Enigma Galaxy.
Game 1 natin, napunta sa Team RC. Game 2 sa DWG. Am I right?
So maybe they've been able to jump
Yeah.
one up, but with only 2
Ali
eliminations
Dayagoni.
during that game,
Pa-shoutout kay Mon. Binabati kita.
they went out, I think it was 4th place.
Ito yung mga highlights natin, no? Ooh, wow, what a shot!
For the
Happy naman yun. Napatay niya pa yun.
Okay, but even so, you know, they got 10 points in that
Wow.
game, or 12 points, I guess, with their
Wow.
That is not a
Solid,
lot, but
man.
the position that they held, that should have been a high team game, at the least.
Absolutely, and just looking at that, it's
Grabe
very
to, man.
unfortunate. And again, I will put it the way that Reject could have had so much more control over that end circle. But in a way, they tried to take too
Solid.
much control with the split that they held, which is it's just almost funny. And I think Freak getting that initial kill was really the big kicker for Reject. If Freak doesn't get that initial kill by himself, by the way, and I think that is the big problem, is that Reject fell to 2 solos. That can't be happening on a global stage.
Yeah, unfortunately though, the stars didn't align, and instead it was a galactic victory with Enigma Galaxy taking the chicken dinner.
Yes, sir.
You know what, John? Respect. I like that one. That was good. That was very good. You know what? Kudos. Welcome back, everyone, to the desk. And as he just said, Nick McGowan
Okay, ito ang ating mga host.
chicken dinner, taking home the
Next
win.
match, 15 minutes, mga buddy.
We're gonna need here in the
NGX! So, NGX ang
But
top
beyond that,
1
we
natin
also have
kanina.
Nova put up a
They
fantastic
got,
performance
like-
of 22 points. And he got to slide down in there with Damwon and Reject.
Ayan.
As said at the start of the day here,
8
Reject.
8
this
kills
is
sila
half of the
kanina.
Miramars,
NVT,
carrying the bottom
8,
day
10
to day.
kills.
For them to have good performances where they stomped everyone in week 1, it's not do or die, but it's such an advantage for them to have a good day here on those 2 maps.
Good one para sa mga ano.
Double-digit points coming in from
Waiting sa
Reject. It's very
CCTV
nice.
reveal. Oh, lapit ng
We gotta
CCTV
focus on the
reveal.
top here for a moment,
Bukas
Jason.
na yun, buddy.
We said it yesterday, for me, this is the Dark Horse Championship caliber team, Enigma Galaxy. And across the last 4 games, they've got themselves 2 second places.
John Mark Leonor. Yan, binabati kita, buddy.
That first super weekend, all right? Blank, put that away. Get it, put it away, Blank, because that's not anymore. Enigma Galaxy is here to play, man.
Yeah, and they were super opportunistic towards the end too. They were just waiting for the teams to get
Next
on top
match
of each
tayo.
other. They were waiting for Nova to get involved with Reject, go for that push, and then they just took
Kumain na.
full ownership of that late game circle to try and make sure that they were going to secure that win. So a really good finish from Enigma Galaxy. But yeah, as you mentioned also, Jason, Damwon able to get himself another 14-pointer here. Some really good consistency there, definitely holding on to that first place. But Nova stepped up
gusto
big
ko ng
time.
dessert,
They get some really good results. So they could be first place after a few more games there.
I mean, I'm surprised, but I'm happy that I'm surprised to see Damwon actually putting up a consistent performance in the finals. Again, I do kind of question where has this Damwon been in the league stage, but you know what, like, you know, kudos to them. Again, we talked about before, like, South Korea doesn't really involve themselves in mobile esports.
Shout out o unsubscribe, sabi ni Asher Cruz. Grabe, Paskong Pasko, ha?
Where they were leading at 82 points.
Papansinin mo ako, o Tulfo. Julian Almazora. Pucha.
Sorry, gotta calm out. Vegatron.
Hi,
having a good day yet again.
Julian Almazora, binabati kita. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Our next match, but MS Chonburi only 4 points. That was another team that did fairly well when it came to league stage. Unfortunately, there's a lot of teams on the second page who were relatively high up in our leaderboards that just have not been able to replicate that prior performance.
Yeah, the teams at the bottom that have been a little bit like weird right now is Genesis Dogma, MSC, and BTR. We expect better from them, so we'll see. We've still got quite a few more games. We haven't hit the 50% mark of the tournament yet, but we're getting really close. One more game before we do hit that part. But Order, and as Blank said, right, it is so weird to see that Reject had one of the strongest 2-2 splits, and yet they both go down to a solo player, and one of those players was actually Order in this fight. We didn't expect that to really work out. He got 1 knock mid-range, pushed it.
Akala ko 1 game lang yung kahapon. Hindi, men. Ano siya? Day 1, day 2, day 3. December 22, 23, 24. 22, 23, and 24.
Definitely amazing stuff.
CCTV reveal, malapit na, bukas na yan. Bukas na yung CCTV reveal natin po siya, huling-huli, men. Huling-huli.
Point between the two.
Huling-huli.
They did have between one another.
Kung sino yung loko-loko na yun.
A bit unfortuitously at exactly the same time. So I think there was a bit of a scramble on the side of Reject Camp to really kind of consolidate even those lines of fight.
Loko-loko yun eh.
Yeah, I think both of the teams pushed them very effectively.
Huling-huli natin sa CCTV.
Down further on in the list, though, taking a look at outside top 9 again. For you guys at home, if you're unfamiliar, it's only top 9 that get into the grand finals kicking off in January. Reject at the
Francis Andrew Marquez. Kevon, pahingi po pet.
4 rivals. Well, we were looking down the
Sige
list.
ba?
It's just
Bibigyan
a little
kita
bit low here,
sa Pasko, ha?
for them.
Shoutout Daddy Von Irish, mapilisan. Binabati kita.
Up there in the final Super
Papansinin
Weekend.
mo ako Evan o Tulfo. Uy, grabe
Again, we
naman
still
naman.
have
Irene.
6 plus 4 is 10
Ah.
matches left to go here. I almost messed that up.
Next match tayo, mga buddy.
But we are approaching that halfway point of the event, of the finals. This
Walang
next
ice cream,
match.
ah. Ang sarap ng strawberry.
Don't worry, there's not pressure on your guys besides the fact of watching and getting PMGC tokens to unlock permanent items from the 22nd of December up to the 13th of January. We're only 2 days in. You can collect these tokens to unlock these permanent items with special rewards as well, and to help you along with your journey to opening one of these coveted League Titles treasure boxes. We have other ways you can win tokens. You can see 500,000 peak concurrent viewers get you 900 tokens, and you only need 1,200 to open up the box. Make sure you're hitting up your friends, family. Maybe go on over to any apps where you can communicate with people. I didn't want to say anything in particular. And you can, hey, say, what's up? I swiped right on you, but come watch some PUBG Mobile. And then you have some ways to do it here with the PMGC token, as you can see as well in the chat. That was a really hard line to walk right there, but I feel like we did it well. I feel like we made it through. And we're going to be going on over Sanhok. Things are going to be getting hot and moist here, Max.
Yeah, I love it when it's hot and moist, Jason. That's my favorite aspect of Sanhok, actually, get into it. But yeah, we've got a few teams that we always have in mind when we're looking at this map. We're looking at your Enigma Galaxy, looking at your Infinities to potentially get some good results, which is what we've been seeing in the past. But I would like to see potentially another good result from our boys from Damwon, right? They go himself that 90 elimination game. There was maybe a little bit of circle look involved. I want to see them take control in the circle, just maybe not given this time.
Well, Maxu Paksu will find out if Damwon can reign supreme here in our next match. We're going to head to a short break. When we come back, we'll be diving into Sanhok.
I love that from Pepper. It's like, you kill me, I kill me. And he kills himself. Zuxi, he was being a snake for quite a while. Help me!
Nope.
Ay. Kevon, kamusta lang kayo ni Ate Carlene? Okay naman kami. Bro, vlog ka everyday na ba ako vlog mo eh. Meron tayong vlog, ha?
Goodbye. Nope.
Help me!
What happened?
Pa-shoutout Kevon, Jail Tamayo, Paolo Perez, guys, mag-join kayo sa Billionaire Club. Yes, sir! Gerald po ito, salamat po sa binigay mong t-shirt. Gerald, thank you Gerald. See you soon ulit, okay? Prince Jerome Navida, what's up?
I love that from Pepper. It's like, you kill me, I kill me. And he kills himself. Zuxi, he was being a snake for quite a while.
George, they deal with it regardless. Lord now, last. How is he not dead? He rolled under the tires there, but the kill goes.
Yung mga troll to. Ay na, boom! Hindi na sinasagasaan, gago. Sayang. PUBG X Arcane. League of Legends, solid din to. Shot. Sheesh.
He gets it! Tony K!
Epic moments.
Movement on the vehicles, and Frankie, a prolonged spray coming in from Ponzai, but he will be finished off by NC2. Stalwart.
Pasyarat po uli. Mama, ID ko lang po. Yan. Prince Jerome Navida Parika, binabati kita. Kamusta, buddy? Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. CCTV reveal na idol po. Nabangan ko bukas ako. Bukas na yan, ha? Abangan nyo bukas. Yari sa akin. Ma-award talaga sa akin yan.
It's been rough though. I think a lot of them are down.
What a grenade.
Sadly, this is why Damwon here is towards the bottom of the tables, is that they are just crumbling under the might of Nova at the moment.
Wow, that's brutal. That is brutal. The nades just keep pouring down, and that is Damwon here eliminated from the game. 3 teams remaining.
One gaming. A nade from 6 to 8 will connect onto Tony K. Looking to be stolen away by Fnatic. Is there anything sweeter than a normal elimination? It's stealing an elimination away from another player. That's a double knock by Fnatic. Rico, what is up?
Right next to each other. Shifu seems to be aware, but
Only that.
Shifu, he jumps a corner. No! He's more than ready as Freak on a sliver.
Demo.
1 HP. Freak only got bandages, so Turul, if your times is right, he knows it's there on the corner. Molotov, yeah, that's gonna flush Freak out. Comes Free firing. What a play!
What a play!
Ruins Dead Eyes guys' days. Yeah, Emma Chonburi have evacuated the premises and Tony K. Okay. KKK. Tony K. That M249 could shred them. He's gonna go for the play.
Oh, I love that.
Tony K finds one. Comes back up again. Now Scry. Let's go for the res. Going for the long reload. It takes about half an hour. It's like assembling an IKEA table. It's going to come peering around the corner again. Another knock for Tony K. He's found 3 members of Stalwart.
He found Scream.
He gets it. Tony K. The 1v4 against Stalwart. What a beast.
Ito na. Third game na tayo, mga buddy. Idol pa shoutout. Ike Gaming. What's up? Kuya Von, pasigaw po please. For Xmas party. For Christmas pala. Please. Kay John Paul Pangan, binabati kita. Okay. Waiting tayo sa third game, mga buddy, ha.
You guys are excited. You're getting
Alright,
rewards,
this is
not
it,
to
mga
mention
buddy.
you get the reward now of another match coming your
Third
way.
game.
It's going to be on Sanhok, Max's favorite map because of why, Max?
It's moist and hot.
It is moist and hot, just like all the action today. But one thing that does stand out when it comes to Sanhok here, Kalaris, is the elephant in the room.
That's right. The elephant in the room, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to talk about it. There's only one Sanhok today, so let's quickly do this. After further review of yesterday's Sanhok game, it was very clear that we had Nova actively hunting down BTR from their drop spot in Painan and holding them out of that circle. It was perfect execution. It was perfectly done by Nova against BTR. Now, BTR has 2 options from this point on. What do? Do they, A, go somewhere else, or B, rotate earlier, on the right side of the circle, on the right side of Finance, be able to make that happen? There is a third option, which is win the fight, but considering where they're at right now,
Third game. Kapit lang tayo, mga buddy. Wait lang, CR lang ako.
I'm curious to see where this actually goes, because this could, I mean, we've got 10 games left. 3 of those are Sanhok here. This could be a determining factor for BCR, even though they're not doing already that well, if they go to 9th place or above or not here, Max.
That was brutal right there. But yes, I agree. There's so many things that need to be changed potentially. And BTR actually did that on the second Sanhok game yesterday, I believe. They dropped one more on the northern side. They completely left Painan as a whole because they just didn't want to get in those entanglements between themselves and Nova. And I think that is a very good choice to make, seeing how good, for example, Order has been throughout these finals with 1,026 damage that last game. So I think that would be the best course of action, is for them to just leave it. There's no need, and so many teams that have not qualified in this stage have had strong spots in the past. Just take their positions. There's no issue with that. Just avoid those early skirmishes, because in my eyes, it just doesn't make any sense.
Jason, it was very interesting to listen, because Zute was doing a breakdown of it, and he was like basically translating some of the comms that Nova were using whilst that situation was going on. It's very interesting, a really good watch. You should go check it out.
I swear, Claris, when he started that whole segment about the elephant in the room, he sounded like an American football referee. After reviewing the play on the
1 minute and 20 seconds na lamang.
10-yard penalty
Third game na ba to?
Nova Esports.
Third game na ata.
I didn't realize until recently, Jason, I didn't realize your refs are mic'd up. So you can actually hear all that whilst it's going on. It's really cool. That doesn't happen in English football, soccer, whatever.
And they even mic up some of the players too, so you can hear the comms and stuff like that. But you know what you also can hear right now? What I'm going to tell you is about OnePlus, our sponsor here at PMGC at the PUBG Mobile Global Championship. With flagship performance and immersive 120 Hz. You did it early, Claris. 120 Hz display and HyperTouch technology made specifically for gamers. OnePlus 9 Pro, your best shot to climb the leaderboards. All right, well, gentlemen, it's time to get into our predictions. Max, I want you to predict who I predicted first, and then we'll get into your prediction.
I predict a Jason, which is a Infinity, and you, Jason, also predicted a Jason, so you also predicted Infinity. There you go. Yeah.
I predicted a Jason. Can we predict ourselves? Do you think they can put our face as a logo and we can predict ourselves?
We'd have to get a graphic done for that.
Alright, well, I gotta go with Nova, because it's the Nova train now all day, and they actually haven't got themselves a victory yet, right? So let's see that come through here in the final.
I mean, as you're talking, the elephant in the room, will they go up against BTR? That's my prediction for you, actually. I want to know, do you think Nova will try to chase down BTR yet again here in this match?
No, I think they're going to be uncontested in this location. It's not worth it for BTR.
Okay, well, Nova is getting in a very good position, taking that first place at the moment, but we still have more matches to come, and we have the Sanhok about to kick off here as you go back on over to John, Allen, and Blake.
Thank you very much. We're going to be back into the game. It's a westerly playing path. We're about to reach that halfway mark. Blank. Things are heating up. It's getting hot and moist.
Yes, it is. I prefer it coldly and dryery, to be honest with you. So that's what I'm going for, as I am very pale and also a secret ginger. So I burn like there's no tomorrow. Fortunately, the moment crashing and burning is Bigatron right at the bottom of the table, 16th place. And I think that, you know, Claris is right. Nova's going to go uncontested in Painan. They did yesterday. Bigatron heading up towards that eastern side recently, trying to stay out of harm's way, to be honest with you. And sat in 16th place is a horrific place to be. And it's going to be a hell of a tournament seeing Bigatron. Like, to be honest with you, probably not at this point. And I think that Nova, once again, doing Nova things, I'm going to say right now they're most likely going to be in first place by the time tomorrow. And I'm basing that off the fact they have 0 chicken dinners, yet are sat comfortably in first place at the moment. Now that is something you
Sup mga kaibigan, ito na po ang inyong shoutcaster nagbabalik. Ang shoutcaster na kalmado lang. Hello? Hello? Kagising ko lang, guys. Hello?
Regardless of eating chicken dinners or not, it's going
Hello,
to be
hello,
really
hello.
hard to catch up to you. And there have been a lot of teams, and DXAV is a very good example.
Gusto nyo ba ng pets?
Who have last night games.
Ito muna tayo, manood muna tayo ng mga labanan ng mga malulupitang teams dito sa PUBG Mobile. No, ito na po mga kaibigan, wala pang nalalaga sa kanila. Buong buo pa. Wala pang namatay sa kanila kahit isa. San yung idol ko dito? Ang idol ko dito yung ano CSSTE. SZSTE pala. Yan yung manok ko dito. Ay, STE pala. STE pala, walang SZ. Ayan.
Like I said, they did this yesterday.
Oo, kawawa yung sino kaya ang nagnakaw ng mga pets. Ala, nako po.
Looking at Nova,
Sino kaya?
We can say we didn't expect it.
Shoutout sa'yo, Timothy Emmanuel Dano. Shoutout sa'yo, kaibigan.
The amount of time the desk has said.
Oy, shoutout nga. John Mark, yan. Alri, shoutout sa'yo. Ayan, active na active yan si Alri sa ating YouTube channel. Palagi na gano'n yan, nagko-comment. So, mabalik tayo dito sa in-game. Ayun na po mga kaibigan, binabakbak na siya. Ito, patay ka diha, dudong! Na-knockdown siya. Mag-isa lang kasi siya eh. Ang layo niya sa team niya. Pag ganito, bawal ka lumayo sa team mo, kailangan stick together. Kaya nga may tinatawag na stick together team. Kasi pag lumayo ka, pag na-knockdown ka, hindi ka nila marirevive kasi ang layo mo, di ba? Shoutout sa inyong lahat. Mag-tune in tayo. Mag-tune in lang kayo. Kasi mamaya may palaro na naman tayo. Yan. May palaro ako sa inyo, guys.
4 rivals taking 1 elimination is good for the points basket. For the time being, again,
shoutout sa inyong lahat dyan.
they're currently in. It's not
Ito, tamang camping. Gusto ko tong strategy niya. Nakuha niya siguro sa akin to.
7 points. You're 30 points ahead behind.
Kasi guys, dati nagpa-PUBG mobile ako sa Steam. Ay, nagpa-PUBG ako sa Steam eh.
Point values. I mean, from 9th place.
Adik ako dati dito eh.
There is only.
Ito na po mga kaibigan. Si DRS nagka-camping, tamang site lang sa mga puno. Gusto ko yung mga ginagawa nila. Yung isa nakadapa, yung isa nagka-camp sa bintana. Maganda yan, tama yan, tama yan, tama yan. Ito ninja to. Uy, 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 ano yan, ano yan? Uy! Ayos yan ah. May lumabas ah. Gulat ako to. So meron, ito si, ano, sino to? DRSX AJ is wala, nawala.
That's an interesting moniker, but I'm sure we'll go with it. Halfway agent. At the moment though, DRS, they are down to 3 players, so hopefully it's going to be able to run a little bit further than halfway to bring the team up to.
Sino bang kumuha ng pet ni Bon? Hulaan niyo.
I think their previous games.
Ito, uy! Gusto niyang umakyat pero hindi siya makakit. Ito na po! Ah, wala! Wala, hindi marunong to. Hindi marunong to. Hindi marunong to. Hindi siya marunong. So, ito si ARF, ito si BTR. May kabakbakan dito ang kabilang team na Infinity. Kabakbakan niya. Pero nangunguna sa ating leaderboard is 4 RVL all. Meron na silang 1 elimination. So meron na pala tayong dalawang team na lalagasan, no? Si DRS tsaka SZSDE. So tatlo na lang sila. So we have 62 alive and 16 teams. Okay, okay, mga malupitang na to ah. Malupitang mga strategy. Nulaan nyo nga kung sino. Sila amin umuwi. Pinasabog. Ay, hindi, bulutas lang. Tama yun. So guys, wait lang. Ihilang ako guys ah. Stay tuned lang nga dyan kasi may palaro tayo mamaya.
With the rest of the team holding in cow, so this is a very significant change for the Infinity. It's much less confident, but I think that needs to be so. I'm not confident, much less bold, and I think you can be bold when you know that there is opportunity for it. And I think being like this, where you're much more close together and you're cautious, is a smart choice, especially of what's happened to them so far in Sanhok. So I think that making this change for the Infinity is a welcome one, and it's good for them here on Sanhok.
Hopefully it will pan out for them as well. I mean, it's still early days. It's a good start, right? But we've seen
Merry Christmas.
Oh. Really start to get put to the test here in Sanhok. Hopefully they'll be able to keep it on going, stay in those top 9 spots, because dropping down to 7th, far from ideal.
Ito na ba mga kaibigan, nagbabalik na naman tayo. Oy, meron nang nalagasan. Ang RC nalagasan na ng isa. Tapos, on the top na yung NV. So, meron na po tayong 3 teams na naka-eliminate. Naka-eliminate, no? So, ito ang 4 RVL all, tsaka MSC and MV ang nakascore sa atin dito.
the exact
Talagang malupitan ang kanila. Uy, may langgam. Ay, may ano, ibon.
that's like basically a 350,000
Grabe.
drop, right? Like you do not want to be slipping down.
Tama ba ako? Sanhok ba to? Sanhok na. Oh, tama. Tama nga.
I think the
Ito yung favorite map ko kasi ano eh.
their actual prize pool,
Madaming puno tapos gusto ko yung motor dito.
$92,500 for that first place, then a massive drop off for second place, 175.
Umuwi po sila yang Lamin, Bostoni sa kanilang kanya-kanyang pamilya. Ako uwi po ako ng ano, 29 in December.
Result for you, but that
Sa Cebu.
almost 400 grand
Yan.
on top there.
Kung sino man taga Cebu dyan,
Really what a lot of these teams
Merry Christmas sa'yo.
Yeah, it's quite the.
Sino ba mga taga Cebu dito?
Of course, you also get
Taas yung inyong mga paa.
awards. The global championship, right? Like the grand final.
Grabe.
Happening next.
Finals na pala to.
Again, is gonna have a prize pool. It's gonna have.
Finals na pala to.
You're coming in as top seed from the East League. I feel like you're a pretty solid bet to actually be doing really very well and getting a lot more money if you're sat at the top of those tables.
Well, I mean, if
Grabe.
you come first place in the grand finals, John, 1.5.
That's a lot of
Goodness
mil.
me.
Grabe.
Right, okay. You won't be have to run
Total headshot STE. Wow.
kind of money.
Grabe.
So you'll
Medyo malaki pa yung circle ah.
point.
So nasa labas ang Team DRS, nasa may bandang
Our biggest
kanan.
yeah, and it is. I can quite comfortably say now that is life changing.
Absolutely. I mean, that's per player, assuming you have, what is it, a 5-player roster?
Shoutout sa'yo, Dionisio de los Reyes. Yeah. Dionisio de los Reyes. Shoutout sa'yo, man.
For all these earnings,
Thank you sa pag-tune in sa stream ni Von. Ako muna ang sub.
underground player per person, right? That's pretty nuts. That sets you up for the next that sets you up for a good couple of years in esports moving.
Arugun. Anong Arugun?
Exactly, and just infrastructure towards
Wait lang guys ah.
setting up contracts with these players as well. Like it sets you steady and you put you on a good path. And again, I think Bigatron is a good example though, is that you can't really rest on your laurels. And I think it is unfortunate with Ryzen, Microvoid leaving the team. I think all good things have to come to an end at some point. And I think for Bigatron, their legacy will never be left behind. What they did for early PUBG Mobile is probably more than any of us can say. They created one hell of a name for themselves.
So ito na po si Bon. Nandito na po. Bumaba na po. Ito na po.
Bigatron win, Bigatron rank. Like there's so many good things about them, but at the moment they are just not pulling their weight.
What's up?
But it's not something I expect
Galaga ako ng
next year. I imagine they'll
ng
have
babing
resurgence,
super
getting to the
cute.
global stage after having such a
What's up mga buddy? I'm back. Pasigaw Idol Joey. Yan. Fontilla.
I mean, that core.
Alright, this is the first game of the day.
Been there.
I mean, third game of the day.
For Bigatron, it seems to be their guiding light, but
Mabilis lang to, pare. Maganda tong laban na to. Ito yung isa sa mga favorite kong mapa
those roster changes
sa PUBG, man.
seem to be working as strong.
Sanhok. Ano dito sa Sanhok eh.
They'll settle down on their roster towards next year.
Masarap mag-camp dito eh.
Come back, swing in, and seeing what they
Suabe
can do.
dito sa Sanhok
You know
eh.
what would be super exciting is if, for some reason, the Twins split up. I feel like that would be a really cool story if the Twins split to 2 different teams, or if there were some roster changes there.
Anyways, binabati ko lahat naman naka-tune in.
You've got to keep. If you're Bigatron, you've got to keep.
Kamusta kayo? Denver Cortez, binabati kita, buddy.
I think those 2 red aliens aren't going anywhere anytime soon. I'll tell you that now. But I do think that I don't think Luxi and Zuxi have had the most amazing performances this time. I think if we look at it realistically, it's mainly been Yuhai, to be honest with you. I think if we see Luxi and Zuxi evolved with Yuhai in there, it'll be great. But I do think that, goodness me, 2 knocks onto down 1 game. I mean, I will continue this discussion because it is an interesting one. I think for...
Ayan na! Kobe!
Let's think they're dicing. I don't think they will do actually. It's more fun.
Saan yung
I
bet?
think for Luxi and Zuxi,
Kobe!
it's difficult to play over a player like Yuhai, and although he's doing very good work for the team, he is an extremely offensive, aggressive player, and molding his
Sige, Idol Von Sky, Cables, binabati kita. Idol, CCTV reveal, malapit na. Watch out, Bondo. Edward, Jan Arguro. What's up, binabati kita.
I think for those two players, it maybe is a little bit difficult to adapt.
Bukas na ang ating CCTV reveal.
Well, you'd hope so, right? I mean, it's
Yari sa atin yan.
not the easiest adaptation to make, but I mean, they did have Ryzen off, right? But Micro Boy was always there to back Ryzen up, and so they maybe weren't playing around that as strong as maybe they are having to now. So it is a dynamic change, right? So hopefully return to form, but we've harped on about them enough for now, anyway, and we'll take a look back at the rest of the lobby as the shift goes down towards the river. It contains Painan. Down one did get both of their players back up and kick Enigma Galaxy. In the meantime, though, they've moved into the south side of that. The Infinity, they're in Paradise Resort. They're moving south from it now, behind Rico Infinity team.
Enigma Galaxy and Damwon Gaming still
Team Secret, pwesto mo lang sila dito mga buddy.
This is much smarter from the Infinity team. It's a much
nice
slower
shot,
push
nice
in.
shot.
Wow,
nice shot.
I think Nova was smart to
NGX, what a shot sa C2OW.
Damwon Gaming try and get an avenue of approach, try and find some opportunities by getting that oversight. There is another team there. Enigma Galaxy, on the other hand, they're playing a smart game at the moment. One player out wide, being able to catch these players off guard. The issue is that Damwon Gaming, I think they just need to play a much more play style right now. Fortify Painan.
Kobe.
There is a potential to kind of remedy this fight, but it's going to be a case of slow and steady wins the race for Damwon.
Slow and steady, correct?
Hopefully. Not only that, they have Nova to contend with, who are in a very similar position to the place they guarded out Bigatron from Painan. The question is, will these teams know of that position? Will they know about this rotation? Why are they paying attention? Do they do their
Kobe.
I think, oh goodness me, NATO towards Fidan. There is a player on the side in Logan as well, and I think Rico Infinity team are feeling the pressure from the Infinity. Mela gets out of the way. Newsy gets another knock and finishes off Fidan. Great nades coming through from this guy.
So now it's just an ass on those hillsides, trying to snake it out, trying to stay alive, but they know where he is. Will spot Newsy, looks for the flush as well. The Infinity really don't want to lose players right now. Mela nades over the top, and an ass now, attention drawn. Newsy to cover, and the Infinity can look to get him back up in a minute. First aid getting popped right now for an ass. Has quite a few meds on board by the looks of things. Should be okay, but the nades keep on going, and it is just going to get harder and harder. God Tani, final nail, and it's Rico Infinity getting dispatched as Infinity push in from the back.
For the Infinity's not so bad. I think Stalwart were chiming into that fight, but they're so far out of the way now, they should be able to get Newsy back up again. I want to quickly talk about a very quick graphic we saw early on, which is Newsy's damage numbers, or top damage in the lobby. 26,000. Now, I think that Newsy's been hovering around 26,000 for the longest time at the moment. And he
Pasigaw ng shoutout sa'yo, John Mark. Yan, binabati kita, John Mark.
Beginning of the tournament, though I think he's fallen off slightly. Though here on Sanhok, it's great to see because it feels like it's more or less the Newsy back on form, and the Newsy that was very much glad to see earlier on the tournament, like the star player that's been formed on the Infinity. Now they're going to have to move through Stalwart. They will have to worry about the DX Xavier as well as, so we'll see how that does occur. Bigatron took boot camp in the meantime.
On the north side, they're all four alive. I think they took a knock earlier in the game. But they did get them back up. I'm not entirely sure on that, actually. I have to double check. But Stalwart, northeastern edge. Painan fight still going on. And on the south side, you've got a couple of teams that can push in. People yet to leave from Quarry as well.
All on the western side of Quarry though, so it's a fairly easy push in to the circle for Genesis Dogma as well as DRS. All teams trying to fly into the circle now, find at least one of these compounds. There are a fair few to be taken a hold of early on in the game. This is probably one of the more populated areas in terms of buildings.
Ayan na.
How was Marshall just keeping that one?
Dapa, ang isa sa mga tropa. Dalawang tropa ng CS. Dapa, buddy. Oh my goodness gracious.
Like down one.
Down 2. Ang ganda ng pwesto ng Team Infin at DWG dito, mga kaibigan. Magandang ipinapakita ng DWG dito, ha. Maganda.
It will be Nigma Galaxy who has to push through them to get into the circle again.
Pero at the same
Nova
time, itong Infin,
still
maganda rin na
waiting
pinapakita
to
nito.
welcome whoever comes out of final victorious, which is a slight issue. So Nova's going to come out on the best end of things.
DWG.
Happens.
Dapa,
First knockdown
pare.
to 3, and now that fight can start to begin in earnest.
ST action, patay.
Gets sprayed down as Pimburu
Patay ng
gets
4.
beautiful off angle. Pika out in the open.
Revel.
He gets spotted there.
Let's see
Might be on the
kung
far side of
makifinish
the
na
road.
to, ah.
Cover actually.
Let's see, mga
Has to
buddy.
try and get away. Action. I mean, somehow he's dodging these bullets, but Pimburu pushing up to DX Xavier's position as well. The rest of Stalwart.
Ooh,
up top of the
gagi,
hill.
down.
Not
Mas
entirely sure
namatay
what
pa siya.
Pimburu is trying to achieve there.
That's the thing.
Didn't
Kapag
really know too
sobrang,
much about the rest of that hillside.
pag sobrang ano ka, man.
Enough to back it up.
Stalwart down to 3, looking over towards 4 Rivals' position. You've got Pew in the back there.
Pag sobrang aggressive, hirap na.
Backside as well, so it is a bit of an awkward situation. DRS,
Di mo alam, may
obviously
nakatutok
combat
na
with
palang
Genesis
baril sa'yo.
Dogma, but not for long as the rest of the team does get flushed out. 3 players from Genesis Dogma make it away alive on that western side. Emporium will be moving in, but Reject have to contend with them in front of them.
Plenty of teams who have it being forced in by the zone down one. Nigma Galaxy at loggerheads. Modi goes down on the first push. Fabian looks for the flush and gets it. Going over the wall would be crucial here. Makes a nice break. Sung echoing that movement as Lord is down as well for Nigma Galaxy. See Ralph, I mean, name a more iconic duo. The heal off and Ralph. How many first aid? 24 on a med kit. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing. And 27 bandages as well. Look, he's bandaging up right now. You know these zones won't hurt him as much. Save those first aids for later.
Yeah, because he can bandage and get the stims through. This is what makes Ralph such a good medic here on Sanhok, because he's figured out everything he needs in the early stages of the circle, and then everything else he needs in the later stages of the circle. Unfortunately, we'll have the rest of his team to back
super
him up and try
open.
and clear out as many teams as possible, or at least start fights to get them further at those rankings. So we'll see just how far Ralph
Masakit
can
na to,
go.
ha. Masakit na tong radiation na to, mga buddy.
It's such a fantastic position.
Jeffrey!
Now,
Vida, binabati ita Jeffrey. Kamusta na?
they've played this
Special shoutout sa'yo, buddy.
Xavier, though,
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
How does Scry not get taken
Gabriel
down?
Mancha.
Players in that building. Only one of them looking
Binabati
his way,
kita.
and he gets
Merry
back
Christmas.
to potential to get top up.
Princess Sarah,
Aggressive the line.
Mamburao.
Forwards. Potential to keep on
Hello,
building as
kamusta
well.
kayo?
Megatron getting stunted from the top side, and God Tunny, I wouldn't be too surprised if he's just going for the
Ganda
hill
ng
strat as well.
position eh, oh.
Ryzen, maybe a third healer out in the zone.
Wala na to,
Yeah,
bleed out na
I
to.
mean, we're getting into the final days
Hindi
of
ko
the
wipe
league final now, so it's all about those heal strands. Reject have to leave their comfy spot at the moment, but it's eye shots with a great angle there. Will take down one of them.
Nice shot.
That's Ray Giocio down to DX Xavier Lamborghini too, and I think that's Reject now out.
Nova looking good, but they're going to have to move DX Xavier closer to the circle. Reject have some foothold, but the players behind are trailing and down. Only one player standing. Divine, MS Chonburi as well, out in the open. And you have to wonder, if MS Chonburi are out in the open, can they move faster and better than the teams in these compounds?
Jumper's going to get a couple of elimination points for his troubles. He's not looking right though, so he doesn't see the player who's directly behind that rock. Unfortunate stuff for him. DX Xavier inside their
Dapa,
compound.
buddy.
Oh, no! Nova with one hell of a shot from along the way, and I think this is smart from Nova to hold this compound as long as possible. Divine might just be able to get up one more player. Ray Giocio can get across to him, and they are in fact in the circle.
That's very, very good fortune there for Reject to get those two players alive. The question is, can they stay that way? Can they keep on going? And now MS Chonburi looking to guard out Nova.
Nice shot.
Water moving up on their back as well. Top gets
Kobe.
sent down, and Pika nades over the top to try and get some
Boom.
contribution with 3 players.
Good.
They need to even these numbers as fast as they can. A flash comes through, and MS Chonburi
Last 8 teams remaining, mga buddy.
Still back them off for now.
Ayan na, STE versus MC. Let's see, mga buddy. Ayun na, sa pool! Gagi, sa pool! Seryoso! Boom!
Okay.
It's going to
Hindi
hurt
naman.
a lot more now. Nova looking to move up in the meantime.
Kobe,
and
oh,
they've swung in
sheesh,
from the
GG,
south
patay
side.
siya.
MS Chonburi caught in the jaws.
Uh-oh.
They are getting swallowed up here. Nova looks to
Naku
move
po,
around
naku
their
po,
position.
naku po, naku po.
On the heel strike.
Ito po, yun yung Kobe. Patay tayo dyan.
Nade around the back.
Nice shot.
The fight with NC2.
Nice shot.
Rays around the side, but can't find the first. The second though is
Okay,
good.
GG.
Jimmy is there to save the day.
Jimmy! What's up, Jimmy? Nice shot by Jimmy.
Will go down here, but DXavier now have a good chance of this game. 4 eliminations, but look at Nova.
Ang gagaling na ito mga pro players na to.
DXavier, they want to hold on to those spots towards that 9th place. This probably needs to be a good game. It would see themselves towards the top of the fold once again.
Wondering where those healers are out in the circle. I mean, the Infinity is still there. Enigma Galaxy are still going. How far they can go? I'll take that back. The Infinity still going now. DXavier with the numbers advantage. 3 players from the trapped. Little tricky rib divot down there.
God 20 this time doesn't get spotted out on the northern side.
Shout po idol, Rafi Marquez, pinabati kita. O sa bati, ito na. Last 4 teams remaining. RC Dapa. RC Divine Dapa po dito mga kaibigan. RC Reggie dumapa. Dumapa siya para mapatay niya ang isa sa mga tropa at ito. Naku po. What a clutch play para sa isang RC player. 1 versus 3 situation mga kaibigan ko. So ito, naku, nirush na po siya. Nirush na siya mga buddy. Naku, patay ito. Oh, dead. Okay. Sino pa? Meron pa? Last one? Okay. Oh my god. Titignan po natin to. Naku, oh, naku, patay na. GG. Patay na siya. DXavier para sa ating chicken dinner. The chicken dinner mga buddy.
Like having that determination to make it towards that end game, getting those players back up again, and honestly, Regiosio being such a clutch member of the team, like I am so happy to see it. Really, really well done to them.
Absolutely fantastic stuff coming through from a lot of teams in that lobby actually. And I mean, again, we see the power of stacking first aids on one of your player come through from 2 of those teams. I mean, Nick the Galaxy going down, I think what was that, 5th, 4th, something like that, and the Infinity coming 2nd in that game as well, off the back of that heal strat. I mean, it feels like Sanhok really is the fallback option set of plays, and we might see more teams start to do that, although not today, as that was only Sanhok.
I said I didn't like Stalwart yesterday, but I do like them today. It's much more reminiscent of Stalwart old, where they looked very strong. They're taking these fights on the hillsides really well, and I think that Stalwart are looking much better. And I think one of the major things for Stalwart is these players are starting to actually hit their shots again, because I do think that it has been a bit awkward before, and these team fights at Stalwart haven't been great, but now with rotations, put him in the right spots at the right time. Double Gaming not making it as far as we thought they would, but I think Enigma Galaxy definitely stymied their chances over towards that south side.
Ito mga highlights natin, buddy.
Potentially could have done.
Ganda ng highlights dun. Namatay siya dun. Namatay lang siya dun.
Right on that boundary before.
Boss Von, pasyaro po sa Lanyo Norman, binabati kita.
In flux. DXavier
Bon, ikaw muna dito. Check ko lang si baby. Ha? Check ko lang si baby saglit ha.
And probably worries, well, hopefully not just me, the fact that it seems to be feast or famine for DXavier, but hey, at least it's feast in this match here on Sanhok, the only one of the day. They get themselves a chicken dinner and a buttload of points as well.
Nagbabalik na naman yung kalmado na shoutcaster. Hello mga kaibigan.
Another 17 points added to the tally. They're starting to build up a nice lead. And I think we're in a world where if Nova continue this
tapos na pala ang pang-ilang game na to? Pang-ilang game na to, guys?
I think that at the end of the day, they should indeed be confirmed in that top 9 position.
Third, fourth game na ba to?
Unstoppable. And Nova played it so well
Fourth game?
Now we do not have that BTR hot drop in Pine versus Nova.
Fourth game.
BTR is now dropping onto the northern coastline of Sanhok, which is a good change in my opinion. But now this is what Nova can do when no one contests Pine early on, which they move away from it relatively early, commit to a duty split for scouting and also for information gathering towards the western quarry. And they just held on to all of that central position for so long, Kalaris. It was so well played, and if no one's going to contest early Pine from them now, this is going to make it even easier for them to get the points on Sanhok.
No, indeed. If there's no one there against you, it is one of the best drop locations on the entire battleground. And we saw that come to fruition here. Fine for them, as you say, early transitions. That means extra loot down the line aside from Hainan, and they had what is available to them up towards that. It's a shame that some of these circles shift away from them because they end up going across roads. It's very difficult to find yourself the exact spot.
So, what's up mga kaibigan? Nagagrind lang ako sa Pet Simulator.
And I feel like 4 rivals today.
Oh.
We're seeing
Next match, 8-10 minutes, mga kaibigan.
struggles across the
Ah,
scene.
third game na to.
Okay.
Okay.
In particular, they've just, for some reason, have really had a tough day after having such a fantastic performance the day before. Well, we can see at least Paraboy in the MVP, his smoky look, his blue steel, whatever he wants to call it. Yeah, right. Surprise, surprise. The Nova, 117 points. I mean, hell, we're talking about Nova being probably qualified at the end of the day. Damn, one might be qualified at the end of the day.
Yeah, two teams able to already reach the 3-digit mark is going to be huge for these two teams in particular. But I mean, Xavier, despite us being a little bit critical about them being run down, not really consistent, those wins they get are tending to be really big wins from time to time. Especially the 2 wins from yesterday were really big results for them to able to get themselves up to 88 points so far. So if they get themselves a few other big games like that, even though I still think there's a lot of things that need to be improved upon for Xavier as a whole, it will be enough to make it and remain in that top 9. So they're going to hold on to that position, but I would like to see a little bit more variety from the team as a whole if they are aiming actually for that first place at the end.
And noticeably, as much as, you know, I mean, maybe myself or somebody else here might be a doubter of Xavier and what they've been able to do, they've won on every single battleground now here in this grand final. It was Erangel, it was Miramar, and now it's Sanhok. So they've shown that they are very versatile when it comes to some of these wins.
Yeah, versatile, but I still, like, I want to see more consistency out of it. You can't just, you know, qualify on dinners, you know. You're not going to get first place at the end of the day, but at least you at home might be able to get a first place victory here by getting some PMGC tokens to unlock some permanent items. You can see 3 different choices for you. You can watch between the 22nd and 13th. If you're watching in the Esports Center over on YouTube, you get these PMGC tokens. And if you have missed out on any of these days, don't worry. If we can
So,
500,000 peak
6 minutes
honestly,
left.
it's probably going to happen pretty easily.
Hintay muna tayo mga kaibigan. Oy, sino nagbigay? Sino nagbigay?
And other ways you can get tokens as well as
Oh, Jeffrey Vida, tayo nga sa 50 pesos. Yan, maraming salamat kasi nag-send ka ng 50 pesos. Sabi doon ni Bon, salamat. Heto lang siya dito, guys. Kasi si Von nag-aalaga kay Baby Lakeisha.
I'll get the pan, I can throw it out.
Charge yung lahat dyan.
You're sitting here watching the stream, you're gonna get 900 tokens anyway, just from that alone. But ladies and gentlemen, we got to head
Tamang chillin lang muna tayo dito.
ready to go for our next match.
Yan, usap muna tayo, guys.
A little bit here as you hop back on over to Erangel.
Hulaan nyo kung sino ang nagnakaw ng mga pets. Boom. Patay. Ba? Ligtas pa. Hindi ako. Mabait ako. Mabait po ako. Ayos na. Oh! Ubus ang isang team. Naku po. Isa na lang, isang team na lang. Patay. Si Bostoni. No. Sino kaya? Ang makakahula, bibigyan ko ng pet.
It was at this moment that Nathan knew.
He fucked up. One minute left. Break time. Minty!
Capture Earth in all its beauty.
Dahil si Winty, guys.
I see action. I see drama. And I see every last detail.
Ayun na ba?
Inspiration
Jargon ang nag-no.
and the first steps.
No.
Here we go into the second half of the day.
Siyang A? No.
Finals in there. But
Sino
only
kaya?
only half of the way left to go here. We have our top 19 and participate in the PMGC Grand Final. 16 from the West, 1 team from India. Max, have you finally decided which team you want to choose to come in from India? Because we all know it is your decision to make.
I've shared my PayPal information, so I'm just waiting now. I'm just waiting to see who has the highest bid.
Pagod si
Sharon
Winty.
Scout and Mortal. Who can bid higher? Dude, GDK.
Si Laminsu? No. Sino kaya? A big question mark. Sino kaya?
Different teams winning, different teams performing well. There has been like 2 consistent things.
Oh, meron pa tayo 6 games.
The entire day. I mean, we've had, Rico Infinity at the end of the day, yes, to take a win. You can see Reject able to take your name of Galaxy, the Xavier. I mean, at least we're seeing the Xavier be consistent in finals. The third winner, they're all the team with the most chips.
Guys, wait lang.
It's been a really good change from Xavier because I think that's
Wait lang. Gagawin ako.
close of games. Sometimes they would get close from time to time but not be able to close it, so they pull the opposite of a 4-eye, actually able to get those wins, which is great to see. Also, one of the big changes that happens in Downward is when you look at their Super Weekends, they will not get those
Bawasan yung ano ko, pets ko.
They would only be down to one match at the start of the show, and even yesterday they were mainly known as a duo where it was Spurs taking the fight to so somehow that's completely changed. They're actually getting those eliminations. They're currently the top fragging team in this lobby right now, so highly impressed with how they've been able to
It's so weird as well, like with cars. I mean, do you think this has just been like a really good day and a half for them? Or do you think like they've been able to fix something they massively lacking in the last 3 weeks and this is like their true final form?
Are we talking down one or are we talking down one? Down one. I do still hold the belief that they have been very studious and been able to analyze the level well over the last 3 weeks. I think that, yes, the down one that we saw coming into this tournament was not this strength, but they've been able to level up through this tournament, through this experience, and are so far looking pretty damn good because of it. And I'm very happy with it.
I mean, I don't think you're the one. I think Dongjin over in South Korea, one of the casters, is super happy. I was actually talking to him. That's why I mentioned the fact that South Korea doesn't have a big mobile esports scene, and when Damwon's playing, like the viewership just triples instantly.
Yeah.
And it's such a good story. And it's such a good thing for them as well. To see them get to the grand finals would be phenomenal, but they still have a little bit of work left to do. They can't take their pedal off the metal or their foot off the metal and the pedal. They can't do that yet. However Max would say it and confusing for us at home. But what about some other teams again? BTR struggling, Rival struggling, Secret struggling, even though they took a dog yesterday. Genesis Dogma, MS Chamburi. Let's just keep going. Just name every team who's not performing here so far.
Lagyan mo kasi ng password ng
What's going on?
PC.
Maybe it's the pressure.
Yeah,
kasi ang password.
of course the pressure is got to be taken in mind, right? You're aiming for that top 9 position. It's a lot harder than aiming for 16th out of 20 teams to make it. It's a lot trickier for a lot of these teams, and mainly the prize pool coming into consideration that might add a little bit of stress for these teams.
Hindi, ibahin mo na lang. Kung alam naman nilang lahat eh.
That's the question mark.
That's true.
Kung alam naman nila lahat, ibahin mo na lang yung password.
You know what? You take your demon pact and get on out of here, alright? But as we do head to Erangel, we start things off today. It was a reject win. I think they were a little bit fortuitous, though. I think we were discussing in that match, right, that they have a lot of teams coming from the West that have to fight their way through, whereas other teams like DRS had a little bit of a struggle. Which teams do you think, not prediction-wise, but which teams do you think should have an easier time here, or ideally like to see have an easier time?
The funny thing is that actually some of the prime spots in that first Erangel game were taken by some of the big dogs. I mean, me and Max were talking about, whilst the game's going on, the circle shifts over hard to that west side, right? And Nova and Damwon, of all teams, took 2 amazing spots, but then another hard shift comes in and they're not able to capitalize off the back of taking these really prime spots. But if it does go their way, once again, I'm looking at these two as big contenders to take more chicken dinners if they're constantly taking these high-value spots here, Max.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I think they've been playing some fantastic Erangel games.
So mga kaibigan, meron po tayong alarma na gaganap dito.
They haven't been really showing up on the map just yet in these finals. I would have to say.
Si Lamin, no.
They play as Napoleona. They have
Sino kaya?
solid, simple rotations that they used to execute every single time.
Who's that Pokemon?
I have the impression they just get
Oy, may extend naman.
just caught mid-rotation.
Siya pa rin pala.
Times in these final
Si
games.
Jeffrey.
That's not something that happened to
Jeffrey!
in the league phase. So I don't know what's happening on their side, unfortunately. I don't think it's that they've changed anything. I think they're still going with the same playstyle, but it's just that teams adapted around them are a lot snappier, based around
Bigyan
certain
niyo ako
shifts, and they're
DM
just
Fox,
unfortunately
guys.
falling on the leeway,
Ano?
and it's causing them to lose
Bigyan
plays
niyo ako
very early. So they need to try and be a little bit
ng
snappy on how they rotate
Santa
themselves, I would
Paus.
say.
Okay. I mean, taking a look
Bigyan niyo
here
ako,
between
guys.
Nova and Damwon when it comes to the finals
Bigyan
alone.
niyo ako, guys.
Honestly, I'm so surprised. I mean, I know, excluding the fact that Damwon have been doing so good, but I'm so surprised to see this turnaround in damage and eliminations, because that was one of the things we really honed in about and really like beat them about quite a bit, right? Was the fact that they weren't getting a lot of limbs. They depended on Sung to the clutch 1v2. They didn't really seem
Nicolas
to have
William
prowess when it
Castro.
comes to fighting head-to-head against other
Shout
teams. And I
out
think
to
I
you,
even
man.
asked you, James, like, damn,
Vincent, shout out to you.
Nova, do you think they
Pain,
beat them
Idol
in the
Pabati.
firefight? And I believe
Name
you
ko,
said no.
Ethan.
But now
Ethan,
we're seeing
shout out to you,
something
man.
switched on within the team. I don't know if it's the in-game league, the
Magandang
call, the
gabi at
strategy,
Merry
what it
Christmas
is.
bukas.
But they are being able to compete now, and to see Nova have such a strong day and see
Merry
them this close behind
Christmas.
them, it's such a godsend for Damwon.
I will say, if you ask me the same question once again, I think I would still say no. If you've given them like a proper 4v4 head-to-head, no, not like any ridiculous positional advantage, I still would favor Nova. I mean, if you look at Paraboy's numbers right now, 4.8k damage. The closest to him is top with 4.5k damage across this final. And then it's a 1k damage fall off to number 3. So those two are
Rafi Amatillo, shout out sa'yo, man. Yan. Jean Canilaw. Pabati po, shout out sa'yo, man. Mark Marquez, shout out sa inyong lahat. Bigyan niyo ako ng pet.
Every component to the table to actually have a really stellar performance.
Scam kasi tayo, guys, eh.
Single player having an individual great time. Even though, you know, in Nova we were saying Paraboy was that guy, but Order and QC and Jimmy have all also looked brilliant here so far in this final. So yeah, it's good for these teams.
On that note, actually, about QC here, Max, we've been kind of praising QC as like helping.
Hello,
Nova,
how are
like,
you?
wake up,
I'm
right?
under
Look
the
at his stats
water.
here, this in terms
Please
of
help
KDA.
me.
He's really not been that impactful.
Yan,
But
bigyan niyo
I
ko
do wonder,
exclusive
like, was
pets.
King performing that much worse? Is there something QC's doing that's helping the team and helping Paraboy and Jimmy and Order step up like this? I'm really curious about the internal workings within the team.
This might just be a small impression I had after watching QC play. The very small sample of games that QC has been playing so far for Nova instead of King. I have the impression he's there mainly to set up his team in a successful position. He's a lot of the time when I'm looking at his
Zeus, shout out po.
playing
Homer.
scouting, getting the
Martinez,
so,
shout out
of
sa'yo,
course, he's
man.
playing more of a supportive
Pasiga,
role, but
pasigaw,
when the support
pangalan
roles,
ko.
you should have
Princess Sarah, shout out sa'yo,
have
man.
a little bit more than some of your top fraggers. So I think that's fine. I really don't have an issue.
Gabriel na lang ako, please. Yuan.
Between these two players, so I love to see it.
Anong ginagawa ni Kuya Von mo? Nag-alaga kay Baby Lakeisha.
Nova's got him hands down. That was a widespread.
What? I mean, no. I'm happy with my glasses actually. But okay, cool. Thanks, Colaris.
Armel Barrigues, shout out to you, man.
I take him when I can.
They're so. I mean, when I hit him like that, I do it off air, so people at home can't see me just straight bowling him. You know?
Actually, I have actually got a 10
Tatawanan sila.
terabyte file of just recordings of Jason being mean to me. So that's coming out soon.
It wouldn't surprise me. Honestly, it would surprise me. I do want to bring up a team really quickly here while we have still a little bit of time. I know we talk about Bigatron a ton, but what does worry me about Bigatron, that's not fair. I don't have anything around me. Is there eliminations? 18 elims in the finals. Oh my, come on.
What is that?
Let's go. Let's just second pair.
It was like not as cool and slick as mine. Mine actually like just magnetized on. You're just like, I'm gonna put a whole sunglasses all over my. All right, okay. Jason, you want to keep this back on track?
I don't know. I got nothing around me to put in front of my face, so I'm a little bit sad. But Bigatron, 18 eliminations. Like, this still just stands out to me as such an odd thing because they are a team who can frag out. They are a team who can put up big numbers last year at PMGC. And again, I know a lot of it is mechanical skill, but I think even more of it comes into the fact of getting them in the right position, making the right calls to allow you to facilitate these elims. But to see them so low on the table, it's still just so hard to believe.
I would love to listen to the comms and also understand the comms because they're not the same language, of course. But seeing that last fight on the last game on Sanhok that we had, fighting between themselves and Infinity and Bootcamp, they seem just all over the place. And I think that it might be down to a big communication issue on their side. So I don't know if they're trying to potentially work on that and get that fixed. But it seems like they're just not as good on communication as they used to be in the past, and I think that's hurting them severely coming into these games.
Yeah, I really wish we had the chance to just do like a proper sit-down interview and just really like dig deep into what is going on within the team. I'm sure they've been under a lot of flack for the last year and a half, right? From their fans, from people around the world, being the most dominating team and then falling off like that. But you know what? They still have time to redeem themselves. They still have time to get into the finals, and we have time to redeem ourselves here with our predictions as well. My prediction coming in, it's going to be Infinity. I might change it up today, though. Infinity haven't been doing super well, and I feel like I might be cursed them slightly. But Max, I mean, you would know all about curses. It's been non-existent, it feels like, in this event. Who do you have?
I think it's because Zute is doing a viewer party, and I think he's cursing in my place. So thank you, Zute. You're taking a bullet for me. I appreciate it.
No, he has us muted. He doesn't want to hear us. He's going to do his own analysis.
No, if there's a team I would like to start stepping up a little bit, it's Genesis Dogma. They have not been showing up so far, so hopefully a win. That'll be nice.
All right, Mr. K-Man.
It's time for a 6-8 win here after a lot of podium finishes as of recent. So let's see it.
All right, well, K-Man and M-Man, thank you so much. And from J-Man, we're going to throw it on over to our commentators now with Bled and Imperium.
We got glasses as well, Jason.
Oh, no, right.
You just can't steal all our thunder, but Per, are you okay? How many glasses are you wearing?
3 pairs, man. 3 pairs.
Jesus. Okay, you don't have to go in that hard and ruin your eyesight.
Well,
just for
you know,
show.
Axe and Claire said 2. I thought I'm gonna up the game. I'm gonna add more, but my eyes are incredibly sore, so I've taken them off. I'm back to just 1.
Yeah, let's not get a headache right now. But, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be jumping in and into Erangel, and it is going to be the second half of the finals. So we are beyond the halfway point right now, and the way some of these teams are arrayed, we were talking about this in the green room while the games are taking place, and I gotta say, I feel like when the pressure is on, a few teams who did deliver during the league stage, during the super weekends, they have kind of, I wouldn't say completely crumbled, but they are showing a few cracks. But some of them are starting to shine like diamond. They are the ones who are delivering. When the pressure is on. You look at teams like Norway, you look at Damn One Gaming, you look at the Xavier, and the way they're playing right now, it's just incredible stuff.
It really is, and that's the good thing about getting through the halfway mark is it does allow us to kind of take stock of what we've seen so far in the finals. You take a team like Nova.
So ito na, bumababa na po ang mga ating mga players na malulupitan. Ito na po, looting. Naglulut na po sila dito, mga kaibigan.
Up the ante in terms of aggression, and sorry, not in the final Super Weekend, but in the previous Super Weekend. And for me, it's a kind of thing where it's like they don't need to worry too much, and they knew what they were thinking in terms of the long game. They did it last year in the PMGC, and they're doing it this year. What has made Nova's performances so damn good is the fact that they've done it all in the finals without a chicken dinner, and the consistency they've shown is massive. And I kind of want to say, and go out on a limb, at least based on in any kind of form that they're currently showing, they've already booked their spot in the grand finals. They're on a current points per game of 13 points per game in the first 9 games. That's a massive average.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I mean, look, it's gonna be nigh. There is still a world, like, you know, if they get 0 points in the remaining 9 games, that some of the teams are gonna catch up. Fair, but it's not gonna happen. Let's be real. That, you know, it's not impossible, but it's highly improbable.
Exactly.
A couple of teams I do want to touch upon, like for me, Damn One Gaming, because if you go back a few days, a couple of
Ano po
weeks,
mga kaibigan nandito?
Sanhok,
Si RC sa pier.
snaking around. If you remember that, and we were like, you know,
Ito na
yeah,
po.
that's
Wala
how,
pang nalalaga sa
Damn One
kanila.
Gaming are gonna be
64 alive.
you know, they're not looking for fights,
And
it's just being, you know, very quiet,
16
avoiding
teams
fights.
remaining.
They're the only team right now.
Talagang
as far as
patibahan
getting
sila
gathered,
dito,
at
mga
least the
kaibigan.
top 8, top 9. who have more eliminations than they have placement points, and they are
Sulong-solo nila dito.
That is
Puchinki,
such
oh.
a massive turnaround, and I'm so very impressed with the South Koreans right now.
Yeah, couldn't have said
Solong-solo
that
ng
better
isang
myself.
team.
And that even kind of complements what I've observed between yesterday's games and today's games. In yesterday's games, we had a couple of heavy-hitting results. A 34-pointer win from Down One Gaming, 19
Siya pa lang
eliminations.
yung ano, may owl.
31-point win from Infinity, a
Ganda, oh.
28-point win from
Meron siyang
Starward
pet.
in the second Sanhok game of the day. In today's first
Pati
3 games,
bayan
the
sila
highest
dito.
chicken dinner win has been
Tamang
23
looting lang ang mga ating mga
points.
tropa. Oh.
I've been thinking about it and I've been kind of going, well, why is this being the case? I do think it's part of the process of a lot of teams who maybe struggled yesterday, such as Reject, are adapting and getting stronger results. We're seeing a little bit more consistency from the likes of Desaver. But honestly, I really feel like a lot of the lobby are playing a lot more passive today than yesterday. And that has allowed the likes of Nova and Down One Gaming to shine so much brighter because they're two of the few teams who are taking so much more control in these games, are really grabbing hold of their positions and going, okay, we are holding on to it. They're adapting, they're rotating quicker, they're moving faster compared to a lot of other teams. A lot of other teams,
Tamang road
I
trip
hate
sila.
to use this team as an example with the lineage they have, but BTR, they're playing kind of hoping that
Team
the circle
Secret
goes
ba to?
towards him,
Team
hoping
Secret?
the other teams take each other out around
Ayaw
them.
nga,
And that
no.
will only
Dami
work
pala Team
for
Secret
so
dito.
long. That will only work for so many games. Down One kind of did that at the start of the tournament. They've adapted, they've evolved, and they've gotten to the point where they are. So many other teams need to realize that, hey, this is a 3-day event. We're halfway through. You've got to take some risks, take some chances, and get aggressive.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head right there, right? Like, if you're gonna just keep relying on the zone shifting in your favor, sure, it's gonna happen a couple of times, but it's not gonna happen all the time. And in the couple of times when it does happen, then you gotta guarantee yourselves, if not a chicken dinner, at least like a 20+ point game, which is not something you can rely on. It's not something that's very sustainable, right? I'm taking a look at the player standings as it is right now. You know, it's a great mix of all the regions in the top 9. We have, obviously, we've spoken about Nova, Down One Gaming, the Xavier team. I want to talk about a little bit more. During the Super Weekends, I spoke about how I missed the Xavier during the Invitational, where they were looking so very good, and they seem to have kind of fallen off, but they have delivered here during the finals. And if you look at the rest of the teams, though, we have Nigma Galaxy from Mina, we have the Xavier, the Infinity coming in from Southeast Asia, we have Stalwart Esports from South Asia, we have Reject in 7th position, we have Nova and STE 628 in the 1st and 8th position from China. So it's almost like the entirety of the regions being represented, but considering 40% of the teams, of the 20 teams who participated are from Southeast Asia, it has been a bit of a, I know we still have a lot of games remaining, but it has been a bit of a decline, so to speak, I feel, for the majority of the Southeast Asian teams.
Yeah, for sure. You're dead right. That's the thing. We're halfway through. It allows us to take stock, and you're dead right. 4 rivals in Jensen.
Nakamute pala tayo, guys.
Most underwhelming
Napindot.
seen in the final so far in comparison
Hindi ko napansin, pasensya
how
na.
both teams were performing across the whole of the
Nakamute
league
pala
stage.
tayo.
I know that's 3 weeks, so it allows that kind of value to come through.
So,
but
guys,
we were expecting so much
wala
more
pa rin
with,
nalalagasan sa kanila. Grabe,
regards to
play safe sila
East
maglaro,
Genesis.
guys.
Dogma and how many games they're able to close out. And I really love what Blank said in the previous, actually I think it was the second game or the third game about Genesis Dogma, how one of
Buti
their
na revive ng
strengths
BTR ang
being
kanilang
kind of
team, no?
countering what other teams do, and I think there's been that shift of the playstyle from a number of teams, so it's taken away
Infinity on the move.
Dogma have. They only have a number of more games to either switch that up or to learn more, or
Ay,
they
yung lugar
start
pala to.
focusing on their own strengths a
Nalimutan
little
ko na
bit
to.
more heavily and pulling out their own massive performances and not worrying so much about what other teams are doing. But I'm really happy with what Blank said. Either way, this game is going on. We're nearly the whole way through this phase 1. It was on that eastern side of the map. Yasnaya in the dead center. DRS are still there. MS Chambori for the most part moved out. But we're currently seeing a bit of a fight between 628 and Infinity.
Yeah,
Sabay
it almost
takbo,
felt
ah.
like the 6-2-8 were gonna be
Play safe
walking
talaga,
to a
play
trap.
safe
The
maglaro,
way
play
the
safe,
players
play
of
safe.
Infinity were arrayed. They had all the information they needed, but 6-2-8 wary and aware that there wasn't danger close by. And I like this from them. They're not going to stick on around. They are spread quite far from each other, and they're like, yeah, if we get knocked down into trades, it's going to be difficult. So they're going to be heading back into town. Where Enigma Galaxy on the other side. They have been a team who have impressed us quite a bit, and I love to see how they've maintained that consistency heading into the final week here, right? Because again,
On the move na po mga kaibigan. Ang
it's only Enigma
SDE
Galaxy, the Infinity,
na may
and
supply drop po.
where
Nako,
top at the end of
hinahunting ng apat na team ang supply drop.
The remaining teams would recruit all the especially teams like Genesis Dogma for rivals, as you spoke about.
Ito na po mga kaibigan, kanino kaya ang supply drop? Kanino kaya mapupunta?
So it's quite impressive for me that Enigma
Opo,
Galaxy alongside
tatlong team
Infinity and
ang
alongside
naghunt
Strawberry
ng
Sports
supply
have
drop.
been able to maintain that consistency throughout heading into the final week.
Ang layo ng STO, nasa dulo ng mapa.
Ang
layo-layo mga kaibigan.
A lot of coastal line of the west that we had inside this phase 1. The Alamo compound that's outside of Yasnaya is currently free. That should be taken control of. I know it's deep in the center of this phase 2, so there is a bit of risk involved, but I think the information you're able to gather, the kind of control and manipulation you're able to pull off if you know how to play it is so advantageous to that compound. You're able to kind of send one player up the hill to overlook the Yasnaya field. You have a lot of information down in the
Sino kaya
south
nakakuha ng
field
supply
and to the
drop?
west of where this circle is shifted. You don't get as much information to the east, but I think that's okay for the most part. But nobody
strategy ng
has gone there for the
dito.
time being. A 6-8
Tamang bakbakan lang sila dito. STE binabakbak ng RC.
Quite vigorously compared to how we were playing in the Super Weekend, and it's seen 6-8 the Chinese side really show
Nako,
up.
fina-flank na. Iko-corner na to mga kaibigan.
Being able to adapt week after week, right? Initially,
Ako po,
the first
wala
week,
pa palang nakakakuha ng supply drop.
Still at all.
Sabi ng STE, nako po, paano ko kaya makukuha to? Binabantayan.
All of us, yes. Strawberry Sports coming in as usual.
Naku, ang dami oh.
from the military island, from
Daming
Dover,
nakapalibot na team. Naku po, madadaanan niya pa yung dalawang team. Ayan na, ayan na. Oh my god. Yan, takbo. Tama yan. Takbo, malala. Naku po. Pinabakbak siya ng dalawang team. Tamang rotation lang siya. Rolling around the world. Nag-adventure siya oh. Naku po. Umuusok na ang kanyang sasakyan.
A little bit of a risk to being taken by action, but information has been gleaned, has been gained for his team, and now gonna light from the vehicles, and probably might be looking to kind of fortify the positions here.
But